Okay, hello everyone. Bit of a late one tonight. Normally I start about, I don't know, like 6-7 hours sooner than this, but decided, you know what, screw it, it's midnight, I want to play some Nebulous. I was trying to get to stream ideas this evening, but I just ended up constantly getting distracted and just otherwise occupied at the time, so I decided, hey, you know what, this is still technically the same day. I'm streaming on Saturday, right? It's Sunday now, but hey, you know what, we take those. I have had way too much coffee today. Got a lobby loaded up. I might hop into one of the area officials if people show up or not. We will see. Just going to currently be hosting. Usually people will trickle in, and once they notice that there is actually a game up, sometimes you'll see a lobby or two hosted, just somebody testing things out. But once you get a few players, which should show up shortly, I think a couple games are still on right now. I sent out a ping to a few friends too, so we'll see if we get any additional players today wanting to go for some little like in-house fight nighting silliness. Yeah. If you're just tuning in, then we are currently on, my own custom little server here. It's just a self-hosted thing. I don't actually have the dedicated machine set up, although I have considered setting up my own dedicated server for Neb. Was looking into a bit of the tech stuff about that. Thought having some custom house rules or other special maps that I might experiment with would be fun. Talked to a couple map makers recently, and there's some interesting, promising stuff coming in. See a couple people dropping in now onto Honeycomb here. Hello there. Rory and Sped and Co. Meanie as well here, tuning into the server, so hoping to get a little bit of in-house silliness and action and other fun bits here. So, trying to pull up some mods here. They probably just loaded a couple of the modded fleets or saved it with some of the uncapped mods going on. So this is, of course, a vanilla server, but a couple people hippity-hop in and out. So I'm not sure which mods these are, so I'm not going to hit the load button quite yet. Just they'll probably select a different fleet and go from there. If I had to guess, they probably just installed one of the mods for the quality of life, giving you certain indicators and stuff. And sometimes when you save modded fleets, they show up like that. So let's see how it goes. We should get a bunch of people in. As you saw, we had up to about 5 or 6 or so, and then it dropped back down. A couple people hopping in. I believe the 3 of them are... Well, I played with these 3 before, so I know that they like to do a little bit of in-house silliness and whatnot. So we'll just see if we get some people's in. And if not, I'll just tell them to fight each other. Not sure why it's still asking to load mods and stuff, but I was hoping that we get some people in pretty quick, but apparently people are kind of around. I might take a look and see if there's anyone else in other area servers. When I looked before I loaded this up, there wasn't any of them going on, but a match or two should end sooner or later, and we'll get some people in. So we will see about that. In the meantime, we can just kind of hang out. I'm going to take me a little big sip of water to find my bottle. Yeah. Currently got Honeycomb loaded up, which is, it's a map. I'll say the Honeycomb has some interesting quirks to the gameplay, depending on who you're playing with. I've had a couple of really fun matches on it, and a couple of really unfun matches on it. So I won't say it's a bad map, but I also say that it is one of the maps of all time. It is not the replacement for Pillars, of course, being the Dust 2 of Nebulous, but... See them popping in and out, probably looking for different servers, hopping around the place. That are just trying to fill up my entire chat log here. You little trolls, you. It is nice meeting various people in the Neb community and just seeing some of the silliness that comes from that. I may have spent a couple hours tonight making Nebulous memes when I was supposed to be doing streamer graphics and totally forgot that I hadn't done anything, and then I looked at the clock and thought, oh shoot, I need to actually make something today. Oh no. See also some of the placeholder fleets we have, silliness for 1 million points, and that, you know, just on a respectable budget and all that. Shoot a ping out to a few people, see if there's anyone looking for in-house silliness. Should have some people you'll show up sooner or later. Usually when they see a server, you know, it's just like a couple of players, they're like, yeah, I might hop in, I might not. But as you get full info, like once you get a 6 or 7 out of 8 player server, then you'll see a whole lot of people. Oh, hello, Crystal, you want a meow? All right, you're getting a meow. cat boy, I am capable of making such noises. We're just waiting for Nebulous Fleet Command to finish doing its thing. Currently on Honeycomb right now. I might change the map and see if that gets more players. Yeah, I'm gonna throw up Pillars, because Pillars is the default map of the game that everyone tends to gravitate towards. That or the 4-player map called Cliff, which I have somewhere in here. Yeah, Cliff is, it's a map that exists. I wouldn't recommend Cliff personally, because standard Neb, I would say, is a 4 versus 4 with 3,000 points on Pillars. Yeah. Yeah, haha, to you too, Crystal. We're just hanging out in lobby right now, waiting for people to show up. With Pillars, yep, see, there you go. I told you, as soon as you get Pillars done, you're gonna get players in. It's the unfortunate truth of Nebulous. Once people are in, then we can change some various things around. Oop, Meanie's dipping in and out once again. I think they're just hopping around looking for servers and that. If there is a server up, I might actually close down my custom lobby and just see if there's a game I can join into, depending if it's area official or not. Let's see. I asked before I cast games, because some people are worried about stream sniping. That said, there is only like so much you can do if you're casting a game. Also, I wouldn't say that people are necessarily going to snipe a Neb game. I feel like the Neb community is small enough that you won't get like, because toxicity is of course a percentage, right? Like there's going to be some people in the Neb community who are of course toxic, because just like there's always 8% of people in a group that are toxic. But to find like people who would be willing to stream snipe, there's not really that many Neb games that are streamed. And I highly doubt that you're going to find someone who's just, willing to do that for random public lobby. Also, even if you are stream sniping, it won't make you win a Neb game. There's a lot more going on. Maybe you download and stream snipe me. If you can get past the tutorials, by all means do it. We could always use more Neb players. All right, tell you what, we're going to close out of this real quick and see if there's an area official up. Because sometimes the ones, ooh, Killboard. Let's take a look on Killboard and see what's in here. Ooh, okay, I see what's going on now. So, yeah, a bunch of the names of faces we saw before hopped onto Killboard. Once we get a full server, I'm going to ask y'all mind if I stream this game in that. But just checking around. Seeing who's playing. Asking around with people, seeing what's going on where. So I will ask before, of course, we stream the game. I'm hoping to just spectate one and then start doing some first person, but see how we go about with that. I believe that they're doing a little bit of Staculus, kind of trying to get some in-house silliness and stuff. Killboard is the more competitive server, so people might take it a little more seriously here, but we'll see. With any luck, there will be another person joining. Sometimes we get spectators, sometimes we don't. Typically when people see the area of 10 thing pop up, they're assuming that it's a 4v4 and that the server is filled, so a bunch of them hippity-hoppeting around here and that, so we will see if we can get a match. Tumbleweed is a interesting map. It looks like a big lump of copper that's kind of rusted in space, so I won't say it's the prettiest of textures, but it's certainly one of the more unique maps. As the name would imply with Tumbleweed, it is definitely a big old mess like a tumbleweed. It can be quite hard in the tactical view to get a sense of where things are, because a lot of the times your line of sight will be blocked. But no, actually, just for some silliness, I might actually hop in and play this one. Oh, and my lobby filling up now. Good old Min with the golden rank, the Commodore. I'm almost to Commodore, and by almost I mean like 60% of the way there. Commodore is, it was formerly the highest rank, so it's now, I forget which rank is now the highest. I think there's a full Admiralty rank, but the highest ranked person I know is Rear Admiral, which I think is the second or third highest. So they gave a little more progression because some people did manage to hit Commodore, the gold ranks coming after the silver ranks and blue ranks. Ranks are not exactly a measure of your skill level. There's some people who have very low rank and very high skill, and some people with very high rank and very low skill. So kind of a mixed bag. It's more just a measure of how much you play the game, and there's quite a few memes surrounding it. So, see, asking for a 5v5. I would be down for a 5v5, to be honest. We could try and vote map that. And you know what? Let's play some first-person Neb. Let's blow some ships up. We blow ship up on this channel. Let's check the help list, see if we can get the commands here. So, we check the map list here, wherever that is. Where is it? Ooh, I can't spell. List maps time. So, we see a variety of maps here. Nix's Eye is one of the kind of classic baseline maps. There's also Salar. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but it's one of the ones that's also quite playable. I didn't know they had giant coral on here. All right, well. Map. Nix. Let's do that. That will autofill this in here, so we are able to do so. I'm getting some votes in for it. So yeah, I think instead of spectating, I'm going to do what's fair, and I'm going to play first person, because that way if people go stream snipe, they're only going to see me and how I flounder around in this game. I will say this, despite having sunk, I think, almost 900 hours into Neb, I am at the level where I feel I can say I am sort of competent. And as soon as I say that, I get hit by missiles, and then I cry. Come on, Nix's Eye, one more vote, please! Democracy! No! Oh well. I think a bunch of people were in fleet editors, so we didn't get it. Yes, I am a cat boy, so I can steal tuna and be a cute little criminal in that, but unfortunately did not come through. But still, is a full 4v4 in that, so once people hop back up and ready up, I'm going to ask if I can stream the game, and if not, you know what, we're just going to go first person and load up another server and actually get into the action in that. So yeah. That is our plan. Are we sticking to it? Maybe. Will I change my mind in another 3 seconds? Most likely. But never competent. You're right. I'm always more than competent. Thank you for pointing this out, Crystal. Yes, I am the bestest cat boy of all things, and I am much better at Crystal than Monster Hunter than she is, right? I should play some Monster Hunter World again. I've been meaning to get a little bit. You carry me. Oh, yes, yes. I'm sure you do. Yes, totally. Yes. All evidence pointing to the contrary in that. That being said, readying it up, I will ask them, y'all mind if I stream this on Twitch? Check in with the crew here. You're barely for damage. Well, you're barely for survivability, Miss Designated Squeaky Toy. That's it. Classic lineup here, so we're just seeing, I believe JSC needs to pick a OSP fleet here. We've not seen that yet, but getting some more late joiners showing up for the party. It is kind of nice to spectate the games here and just see how the different builds play through and that. Oh, apparently you're a chew toy? Oh, I see how it goes. So, let's see if we get a 5v5 after all. If we do get a 5v5, I will hop into one of the teams. I won't say that I'm favored in either Alliance or OSP. I will say that currently I do like a lot of the OSP's assets and just kind of some of the gameplay they've got going. What is Giant Coral? Not good. Yeah. It is one of the maps of all time. It looks like a giant coral reef, and it is, well, it looks very cool, but it's not great gameplay-wise. So I do wish we got more underwater maps, because Nebulous functions a lot like a underwater game instead of kind of a space game. You do have a maximum speed, and if you think of the whole map as underwater, that makes a lot more sense. Sounds like a fun map. I will say that it is a very pretty map, and like I kind of like the design aesthetic they're going for, but in terms of gameplay and stuff, it is not exactly favorite. So, trying again for Nix's Eye. Come on, Democracy. Less people are in the fleet editor this time, so let's see if we get it or not. Hey, we got Nix's Eye. All right. So, see them hopping in. Now, I do have to join the villains team here, as this is a 5-person server, so going up against Stackulous Prime here, so let's see if we can make it happen, Captain. I believe that I will need to play a Cap fleet, or possibly not. We still have not seen who is on our team here. We just click one of these ones. This is not what I'm going to select exactly, but you'll see what we are bringing to the party. I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to have to deal with a bunch of little things, so these various fleets, Cap and Callouts, are quite good, as they have a bunch of offside assets, such as little Spyglass Rains-class frigates, able to scout the enemy very effectively with the Pinard module and the Spyglass radar, as the namesake implies. Also got some other things, like this is so originally I had a fleet called Cappuccino, which was named after different types of coffee, because I thought that was cute. It was a Cap fleet. Then I made Cap and Callouts, which is a variant of it. I decided to add on a Beam Destroyer, which is very good at what it does. As the name would imply, it destroys things with beams. So, going to showcase a bit of the stuff that I got here. I am facing the OSP, so this is going to be a interesting match, because OSP typically brings a lot of shuttles, so I'll have to try and control them very well with my various assets. I've got the Beam Destroyer, the 2 Spyglass frigates, then about 5 corvettes. One of them is a little gun corvette, just meant to try and skirmish with the enemy, and the rest of them have a combination of gun and torpedo. I couldn't, unfortunately, make the last one have torpedoes, as I just didn't have the budget for it, so any luck, we'll be able to counter-skirmish. I know that Mimi. I know that Mimi is well known for running a whole bunch of little shuttles and stuff, but I don't entirely know what everyone else would be bringing. You play with certain players long enough, and you start to recognize some of their various builds and other silliness they bring, and it's kind of a fun thing where Like, you become predictable in a certain way, and then you mix it up by bringing something completely different. Like, if everyone knows you as the guy who brings, like, 10 shuttles, then you just bring a battleship the next day. It's like, oh, no, what do we do against that? This is what I expected at all. So, see how it goes. Ask them kindly to show fleets, please. Always pays to be nice, especially with your teammates. Remember, just because you shot at somebody the last match doesn't mean they can't be friendly this match. Online video games and whatnot. So, taking a look what we got. Ooh, that is a expensive missile Axford. So 7 VLS-3s in that thing, so that is a whole lot of missile in this. This is affectionately referred to as a surrender ship. So you'll typically hear the term surrender CL, surrender CH, or surrender, etc. It's called this because you fire all of your missiles, and then you have no more weapons, so your only move is really to surrender. It's kind of a funny term, but that's just the way it is with certain missile builds. I won't say that it is good or bad. I will say that it is a playstyle. It is quite a funny playstyle, depending on how you choose to load your missiles. So this could also be known as the ANS container liner. The OSP has a container liner, literally a ship that is full of cargo containers full of explosives in that. So we'll go ahead and see if we can't get the magic going here or not. Just readying up on this. I think JC should select a fleet. I'm hoping that they're here and not just AFK in the lobby. I hate to have to kick someone, but sometimes it is an unfortunate necessity to get things rolling. We have getting things rolling. We've been streaming for almost 27 minutes now, and we haven't had any games. Yeah, I am totally good at last-second organization of Neb. Okay. I don't know where everyone went. Okay. Alrighty then. Well. I don't know if there's like some memo that goes out that I just didn't know about, but just everyone completely like disappeared in that. I'll take a look around and see if there's anything special going on anywhere else, but no, not seeing anything. Okay, well, we can just hang out here and we'll get some more people dropping in. It might be they just dipped out and are dipping back in, see if there's any other servers on, but I'm perfectly happy playing Nix's Eye. It's just I hope that JSE is not AFK. Tumbleweed? Well, alright, I guess we'll go Tumbleweed then. We get 4 votes, we can get it. I'm not sure exactly how many votes you need, but apparently that many, so there you go. I'm going to assume that they're around the place, but at the same time, maybe not. We'll just hang out until we get a lobby up and that, so. Lobbyless fleet command is a thing that happens sometimes. You get a full lobby and then somebody's just AFK, and instead of kicking them, everyone just hops out, tries to hop into a different server, and sometimes you drop in, drop out, drop in, drop out. Other times you'll end up hopping into a lobby and within a minute the game is on, so bit of a coin flip on that. I do want to organize a bit more standard times, like when I do my Wednesday night Nebulous streams, I like to try and get some people in for those, because it's kind of fun having a couple people who make a return appearance on the channel. Partnering up with Doc Vivi on Fridays now. She's changed her schedule, so you can see some of my Nebulous silliness with her there. Always fun playing this game with friends, some of them on comm, some of them off. I'm thinking about getting some people onto my stream, but I'm also needing to set up some Discord audio equalizer things so that one person doesn't completely deafen you all. But that being said, we're on Tumbleweed. Stuff is going to happen here eventually. I'm pretty sure that a couple of Neb games have just finished up because we're getting some players dropping in now. So usually when one lobby empties out, either everyone readies up or everyone just hops ship into a different server. So see how it goes. This seems like a server had just finished up, so we're getting people in now. Anyways, got ANS here. They all appear to have selected ANS, so probably not going to be an AVA, or Alliance versus Alliance, as the term is known. If we have to swap over to OSP, I'm perfectly happy doing that too. I play both factions, but I'll say I prefer it that way, because Alliance versus Alliance was the previous staple of the game, where the OSP faction just didn't exist yet, but the reason we don't have Alliance versus Alliance set up exactly, just straight up, no. That's funny. I will swap to the villain team then, so be it. It will be the example. I'm trying to remember what builds I even have saved for this. Ooh, I could do Plasma. That could be fun. Here to be OSP. I will set the example here. That or I will change to a different side. But With any luck, we'll get this game on eventually before an ad break has to hit. This is sort of the unfortunate nature of Nebulous Fleet Command. Sometimes you get a match on instantly, and sometimes you do just end up kind of playing the shuffle around game until somebody eventually changes over. I know some people who are straight faction purists, they just play Alliance or they just play OSP in that. So we'll see how it goes. You have no faith? Ah, well, I say have a little bit. I'm set on doing... You know what? Actually, screw it. Let's do Alliance versus Alliance. It's probably going to end incredibly poorly because I don't think that I have the right fleet setup for this. But you never know. Screw it. AVA. I have not done AVA for a very long time, and my fleet is probably not set up at all to deal with them. Much more used to the ANS. Oop, we're losing people again. No! Just when you get a server filled up. Dang it. We might get somebody in for it. We'll see. I will say that I do prefer Alliance versus OSP. I find the asymmetrical kind of faction balance to be more interesting than the straight Alliance versus Alliance. Having played the sort of old Nebulous, as it were, Alliance versus Alliance, back in the day before the modular missile update. That's it. We can't seem to find a person. You know what? I'm just going to hop out of this server, see if there's another one up real quick. Just take a peek. Ooh, area official. All right. Let's see. Okay. There we go. We found more peoples in this. Game going on here on Styx. With that, I will ask if y'all mind if I switch stream. Gonna ask them and be civil about it. So again, trying to get a game set up here. Nebulous Fleet Command. I do actually wonder a lot how many of my hours have been spent in the fleet editor versus how many of them have been actually spent in a match or in a lobby in that. So I assume in terms of game time, most of mine are still spent within the game, but some of them are, of course, spent in Lobbulous. Go ahead and load this up, see what we get. This is the map Salar, which is going to fill up real quick here, so yeah. We'll ready ourselves up and go from there. Doing a little bit of commentary is my intended way to warm up. That way I can just kind of analyze the various different builds, talk about a few things there, keep people entertained, and then I can flounder around in first person and you can all watch me die horribly. I'm glad they are a good sport about it. Asking nicely is always a good thing to do. You'd be amazed. Like, I'm just going to talk like a little bit of rambling rant here as long as I've got y'all. There is an amazing number of people who do not think to just ask nicely about something in video games. Just saying, hey, could you please do X thing? It would really help us do this. Most people I have found just tend to kind of default to being toxic, saying, go do this thing. And then they're surprised when people say no. So, kind of funny how that goes. Harris Davy, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Pull up a chair. Anyways, we're just going to load into the Lobbulous now, so we're just waiting on Savage, Meanie, and Spadicy to ready up, so... anyways, we're going to be playing, hopefully, in the next round, and then we'll go from there. So, seeing people hop in and hop out. Say ready up! Go, go, go! So, we're going to hopefully see some matches on Salar. Should be a fun bout either way, but... they're discussing. So this is the other thing about Spectator. You are technically Team 3, so you can't see the team chats and that. Okay. Just gotta type this, pretending like Discord emotes work in this thing, but anyways. So, once again, we got the good old case of Spadicy here, ever in the fleet editor at the last second while everyone else is ready up. Love you, Spadicy, buddy. I played in-house with him a couple times. He's funny. I do like his beam destroyers. He also wears the Cybran tag here, which is from Supreme Commander, a game from, I believe, 2007, which I probably should go back and play again sometime, because the Forge Alliance expansion is quite good, and it's still kept alive today through a custom client called Forge Alliance Forever. So if I remember right, the original Supreme Commander servers were hosted on, I want to say it was GameSpy back in the day, which is a throwback for a few people in the crowd. That said, I'm not sure if there's anyone under 30 who plays this game. Well, I guess I do, so. Right. Come on, Sped. I know it was a meme, but... Yep, they're even saying it. More iconic duo. Spin. Little affectionate teasing because I know he can see the chat here. So, anyways, we got the game on proper. Let's go to it now and see how things go with it. And yeah, we will see where we get taken by it. So, okay, so lobbying time over. That only took us, well, I guess we had a 10-minute countdown for the stream, so 25 minutes to find a lobby and actually get into the games proper. So we're going to go to a big old iceberg map. I still don't know how to pronounce exactly whether it's Salar, Salar, or Sailor. I might just start calling it different names because I keep getting the names wrong of everything in this game whenever I'm on stream. Or off stream for that matter. I keep calling shuttles Corvettes and Corvettes shuttles. If it sounds like my mouth was full, it's because I'm eating chocolate chips. These are the benefits of being a streamer. You can do silly things. Anyways, dropping in the blue trunks here, we have the A and S. You can see by the battle space here, it's divided into these two faces. You can see various points scattered across. So high top side here, favored for the orange team as it is closer. Low bottom side here, favored for the blue team. You can also be sneaky and invert the map like this. Wow! Now, important thing to remember about Nebulous, while there is technically an up in space with this, because you have your heading commands and other things you can set, if you play the game the same rules as Ender's Game, you will do very well because you have to remember the enemy gate is down. You are more or less always trying to shoot from the high ground towards people. Also, playing with the map inverted is a really nasty trick because you can end up hugging rocks. Like, let's say I want to play underneath here. Perspective-wise, it's a little hard for me to see this, so if I just flip the map over, now I'm always going to be shooting down on the enemy, and I know exactly how to always essentially have the high ground, even though from like most perspectives it's low ground. So we'll introduce the players and the teams and stuff once we get into the match proper. We are just seeing the deploy screen now, so a whole bunch of little dots coming in the various areas. There's a circle here that we can't see on both sides. That way you can't drop in the enemy's deploy zone, because that would be a little bit silly if that happened, but makes both sides kind of deploy from the same various areas and then take their points across the map. A point being the neutral middle ground here in between the giant iceberg, C and the E points being the naturals, and then the D and B points being kind of contested. Forms the map into this nice sort of X shape here, but it's on a slight canter, so it is, well, generally going to be seen as 1 point goes into either team's favor, putting everyone on the clock, and it's a fight over the 3 middle points here, with the opportunity to snake a capping ship back to the enemy's natural point. Dropping in now, we see the lovely ice clouds in this sort of nebulous expanse. We see the HRE DACA coming in bright like a Monster Energy can, or no, actually, Monster Energy is the other way around. It's like black with green stripe. This is more like a Razer headset or something. See a bunch of 450 and a belly beam turret, so loving that. All right, we're gonna go through the builds real quick, starting with what we see here. So one saggy grandma is bringing in the 450 topside battleship with a beam on the belly. This is kind of interesting to see, because a lot of the time you will see a beam backpack and the guns on the belly instead. That way you can face forwards, presenting a very thin profile and having 8 barrels of 450 goodness pointed at the enemy. Seeing joining them, probably just a Corvette or two. Yep, little gun Corvette with jammers. This one has just a missile launcher. Let me guess, ceremonial arming. You know it. So this probably going to go and get sent right to the A-cap. Anyways, let's take a look what else we got. So over here we got Mr. Meanie coming in with, let's see, 1 and 2 little Corvettes packing a VLS-2, so smaller missiles, but still pretty good. Ooh, this is a super missile boat. Look at this thing. All VLS-2s across this, so this is a pretty big strike platform. Let's see, Intel Center brought in this, so very good support asset, getting that intelligence effort to the team. Probably got, yep, just a little bit of scouting around the sides here. Pair of spyglass frigates here with the, of course, chaff box that is kind of mandatory these days. So gonna be a lot of size 2 missiles this game, if I had to guess. Let's take a look at what else they got. Over here we got a classic 450 Axford, defenders on the side, defenders all around this thing, chaff box on the bottom. Love to see these things. 450 Axford's very good. This is supported by, looks like a little bit of, ooh, okay, yeah, I really like this style. So having an Axford command ship and then a little fleet of frigates or other escorts is very good. This gives you a bunch of different resources that you can make use of. In this case, we see a bunch of Sarissa turrets on here, which are very good long-range anti-missile devices. I believe they can shoot down missiles up to 8 kilometers away, which if we take a look at the battle space, that's a pretty far distance to cover. Seeing the points here quickly, we see a E-capper going out from Spadicy there, and then I believe we've got over here a bulk freighter going on Charlie. We'll go on that in a quick second once we're covering the builds. Anyways, over here, classic 250 Vauxhall, size 2 missile launcher on the back, so very much favored in the size 2 department right now. Little beamstone destroyer heading down here from Savage. If I had to guess, this thing's going to lurk on the rocks around here, trying to control this point fairly well. Up top, we have ourselves another size 2 launcher and gun, size 2 and gun, and then we got just a pinard spun on its side so that this pinard module faces towards the enemy, detecting their radars, I believe at 125% of their maximum distance. So if you have your radars on, this device can see you. It's a very good scouting tool for the ANS, exclusive to them. Seeing up here a, let's see, 450 and golf ball backpack. Yep, so pretty good Axford build right there, joined, of course, by the beam destroyers down below, which we saw earlier. I believe I'd clicked on. So lastly, we've got just, what's this? A couple of VLS2s, just gun, VLS1, and let's see what else. We got gun, and lastly, empty. Yep, just going on to scouting. So that's the ANS team. Let's see what OSB has as we just take a cursory look at the battle space. Not too much is happening. We're just seeing the obligatory rush towards the A point. We have got a Corvette coming out here and a shuttle in turn. Preemptive missile strike here going after the D point, trying to take out this shuttle here that is actually got a rocket launcher and some chaff on it. I believe that it will be able to evade these missiles depending on what seeker type they are. We can now actually check what seekers they are, seeing these are ACT wake validated. So if these are pointed at the backside of the shuttle and it is still moving, they will confirm that it is actually a ship. However, if they do not move, then this shuttle is just seen as, well, essentially a big lunk of metal, and if you pop chaff, it's kind of a coin flip between the two. So that missile strike might go through, might not. Let's just take a moment to see if it does. Womp womp. So these are the size 2 hybrid missiles. They are a little bit weaker health-wise and damage-wise than the size 3, but the benefit of being a smaller missile is that you can fit a whole lot more of them in the same mount. So you're trading a little bit more quantity instead of quality here. A bunch of anti-missile missiles trying to come out, but unfortunately hitting the rock there, trying to predict the pathing these are going for. Let's take a look around the rock here in a second, and then we'll get back to finishing out the builds. Grape shot and stuff firing off from those bulk freighters. Oop, unfortunately, does it pop chaff in time? Panic chaff? No! Good curvature around the rock there. Just manages to slam home into this thing. And yeah, whop whop. Unfortunately, the engine's giving this ship away. The wake validator doing its job there. A couple more just for good measure here. Coming out trying to scout around, see what else might have been sent. But we see the point defense network going off here of a pair of Ocellos. Personally, quite like the Ocello hull, actually. I think that it serves as a very strong command piece. The antenna on it cannot be underrated. Many people do not know how good the CR-75 antenna is on the Ocello. It is insanely good at preventing your various ships in the OSP fleet from being comms jammed, as you are broadcasting information to everyone and networking very well. So, quite a good asset, sort of a centerpiece of the OSP fleet. We see a pair of them controlling the D point here, trying to set up high. They have gotten the cap even after taking that missile hit. That said, reinforced CIC and Sundrive operational still amazingly. This thing is made out of wet tissue paper on a good day, and it has somehow managed to survive multiple missile impacts. You see the top half of the ship currently is pretty well toasted. That said, the very good point defense also of the Ocello is coming into play. You see the Aurora turrets on this, very good at shredding incoming missiles. I would expect a bunch of those size 2 missiles to just not be available to hit anything on this side of the map anymore, because once you kind of form a battle group around this Ocello, it's very hard to actually do anything missile-wise. They are incredible point defenders. Here we're seeing the first 450 flying of the game. Bunch of shots out from the Ocellos onto the heavy cruiser here. Heavy cruiser in turn trying to re-angle itself so it does not get shot in the flank. So I'd say that the Ocellos here are fairly favored, as there is, of course, 2 of them to the Alliance's 1 heavy command cruiser. But that said, the command cruiser can get out of this fight. It does not necessarily have to take it, but there's now plasma flying towards it, so a bit of combat going off there. Oop. That was not the ship I wanted to go. Who is this? Let's introduce a little bit of what we got. I really need to get better at introducing these, but so much happens in a Neb game that I like talking about. So, plasma coming off this. You can see the 2 plasma turrets there, joined by a 3rd one. So, these are able to strip armor very effectively off of the heavy cruiser here. We see it already getting pasted. Those armor plates now cooked off by the plasma guns. So this allows a lot of lower caliber rounds to pierce into the hull. Normally, Axfords are very heavily armored, so low caliber rounds will just bounce off. But in this case, with that extra plasma damage coming out, it's going to very rapidly be feeling the effects of these low caliber bullets that are getting thrown out from that bulk freighter. So yeah, also seeing some crossfire here from some mass drivers or rails. Can't quite tell by the graphics, but yeah, this command cruiser is not having a good day right now. Let's take a look. What else did we see over here from Lord Fluffy? We have, I believe, another plasma T-30. So 1, 2, 3 plasmas on this for power consumptions, because plasma turrets do take quite a bit of power. This is a nasty battle group over here of about, I'd say, 5,000 to 6,000 points, give or take. I'm not sure exactly how much those bulk freighters cost, but I would estimate probably about 5,000 points here just being brought to bear onto this poor heavy cruiser. We can already see a bunch of stuff getting toasted out here, so that's going to be that. Taking a look around the map, we see that the A point unfortunately has gone into the OSP's hands and has tried to contest it, but just got knocked out by, if I had to guess, rockets or something similar to it. So tragedy strikes again for the ANS as they're just getting absolutely pounded up here, losing the A point, putting it behind slightly as the OSP is starting to get ahead. Ooh, we see a nasty trick over here, some sprint mines. So this is a emerging strategy that I've started to see more of. I've affectionately started referring to these as barnacles. So it's quite common for people to start taking a tug that you can get very cheaply for, say, only 250-ish points. You just set it up over top of a rock, eject some mines, basically point blank, and then they scatter out and lay themselves in here. If any ship happens to come over the rock, then these mines embed them, that have previously embedded themselves, they then activate and whip into it. Previously, the strategy was kind of to saturate the point with mines, but people found out that, hey, if we know where the ship is going, we can just set up mines in a place where they're going to be an arc. And then suddenly you've got a sprint mine in your flank, and you just have pretty much gotten one shot. Because if you get hit by a mine, you're not really coming back from that. Mines are incredibly dangerous. Right, we were going to explain the rest of the builds. So, I believe it was Lord Fluffy we were looking at. Yep, so plasma T-30s on this. We've got a little bit of a sort of scouting support asset here that we see an early warning radar, peppering again at some of the ANS sort of scouting assets here. So this one, unfortunately, going down. The poor Rubicon is royally toasted here, just everything knocked out. I hope it got its missiles off. It doesn't actually say. Not sure if we can check. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Still some missiles left in there. That's quite a bit of point invested they did not get return on. But that's Lord Fluffy's fleets, 2 plasma T-30 bulk freighters. Let's take a look what else we had. We had already covered the Acellos. How do you even say this? I'm going to just call them Hat. Hat over here, or maybe Hattie. Yeah, we'll go with Hattie. Hattie over here with the 4 mass drivers. Now, I will say this. 4 mass driver liner, by the numbers, is actually not as good as 3 mass drivers right now, because there's some interesting stuff with stacking energy regulators, although somehow, in this case, they are figuring out how to actually stack 3 energy regulators and get 4 mass. Huh, that's interesting. They've taken the power drive, that's how. So, yeah, this is able to get a lot of mass driver rounds out, so I will say that you can match this rate of fire with 3 of them and still go with a bigger drive for maneuverability. The power drive is, well, the main benefit of that drive is you get a bunch of power, but it heavily debuffs your mobility, making you quite a static target. That said, there's a lot of mass driver pressure that they can bring to bear with pretty much a range of yes. Mass drivers are a big threat for ANS's light assets. Seeing they've got a early warning radar and a bloodhound together on this monitor here. Gonna take a look over here. They've just got, yep, here we see the barnacle device. It's funny because I literally talked to people maybe an hour or two before this stream about saying, hey, yeah, this is really powerful thing to do, and you can get it pretty cheaply. Just fill up with a couple of sprint mines, set this thing up somewhere, and just, yep, plop, plop. So we see another little nest there set up. So C point heavily mined, so they can get hit by 1 patch and 2 patches. So I'd say these are a little bit weaker because you can't actually spot these, given the angling that they are at, but still a very nasty surprise for any backcap asset that wants to come in here. I'm quite happy to see that. Good for you, Hattie. So, just seeing a couple little other assets around. I don't believe this one has mines, does it? No, it doesn't look like. Just size 2 missiles from a launcher on the bottom. So, taking a look around the map, we are seeing the D point here. Now, ooh, the battleship has managed to push its way up. That HRE tag coming in here. So, big old green machine taking mass driver rounds. Mass drivers will not actually knock out any modules on a battleship, as they aren't able to break the damage threshold. Well, actually, I think they can break a few of the soft modules, but they won't break anything too major. The VLS in this case and the radar panels are, unfortunately, things that can be broken, but you won't ever see a battleship die to mass drivers. It'll be something else doing it. Plasma now also coming onto this battleship as it's desperately trying to cruise over here, get into the cover of the rock. They're trying to capture the D point. We might see some mass driver fire into this thing. Yep. Bunch of little DACA coming in now. If they get the decap, that will put them in the lead again. They'll be able to catch up on the points that they have unfortunately fallen behind on. Seeing some missiles out here at the bottom. Let's see what we got. These are ARAD ACT Seeker type going after the light cruiser here. Light cruiser forward facing has some missiles of its own to return the favor. Let's see if these are able to be shot down or not. Defenders are on target. Missiles are out. Will they be able to hit? Yes, no, maybe so. You can see them probably shutting off the radars here, trying to rely on the ACT Seeker instead of the ARAD. So ARAD going after the active radar panels of a ship like this. Seeing just a kind of mixed volley. Ooh, beams for their trouble coming in from the flank here. The Scylla just peeking barely out from a rock. Love to see this. Just cooking its beam royally into this bulk freighter that we did not get to introduce, unfortunately. So this is a plasma T-30 bulk freighter like we saw before. Only 2 plasma turrets on this one, but I don't think it will matter very long. Reactors cooking off on the other side of the map. Ooh. Yeah, this bulk freighter heavily damaged here. Do they have any restores? No restores left in this thing. The poor soul, unfortunately, is not going to be able to bring itself back up to combat effectiveness. What you see is what you got. So you've got maybe 2 plasma guns and a T-30 left. That is a heavy crippling hit. More beams for their trouble. This underside push, it is a trap. That CL is just the bait here. Double beam destroyers coming out. Hecura realizing that they are in trouble and just deciding to throw in the towel instead, as they are realizing just how many beams are coming in on them here. Yeah, unfortunately, Sun Drive here getting cooked off. Even a reinforced drive getting cooked through by that beam. Is that a double focus particle? That is double focus particle accelerator. Love to see that huge damage. So Alliance springing their trap down below on the B point. Let's see, in return, we have over here a pair of Acellos with railgun on the belly and a pair of 450s on the top. I do actually kind of like this. The railgun is an interesting supplementary device that can very heavily punish the ANS for bow tanking, as the railgun can essentially penetrate through an entire Alliance ship and then come out almost the other side if it does not get caught by the drive. So quite good for inflicting debuffs and punishing that kind of gameplay. Here we're seeing the ANS team still beaming the various ships here, not yet confirming that they are in fact dead. Life pods launched 30 seconds after a ship has gone down, so we're just seeing them launching out now. A couple of shots for their trouble, and they're quickly going to realize that yes, this fleet is in fact dead. So, although the ANS did get taxed many of their early game assets, namely the corvettes and little frigates they had around the outside, that is 3,000 points down for the OSP. They have secured the D point up top and are going to be holding it for the moment. OSP has to recap, but that said, there is a pretty fierce amount of resistance being put up here by the ANS team, as they're starting to come around with this battle group here. They're going to be threatening this arc here. These Acellos starting to move themselves backwards, realizing that they are getting overpowered here. The bulk freighters themselves also choose to move out from that area, deciding that a battleship and a heavy cruiser and friends is a little more tonnage than they want to be dealing with. They could probably take the fight, but they're saying, no, we are just going to pull back. We're going to protect our other assets and see if we can't get together and maybe engage that group head on. So, we're seeing the long-range support of the mass driver. By retreating like such, they're able to kind of pull the ANS out of cover and let that mass driver get its work in. Mass driver will make very short work of these escorting frigates, but that said, it is currently choosing to focus on the one target that it can, which is this big old heavy cruiser here. We see a shot to the drive, the ammo elevator as well, getting instantly knocked out. 4 mass drivers for your troubles. Wham, 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 wham. See one of them overpenning there, going all the way through to the other side. That's actually a rather fortunate thing, as overpenetrations do not deal very much damage. I believe it's 20% of the default amount. That said, here we go onto the A point, a little sacrificial corvette trying to do its best here while the mass driver is distracted and not able to overwatch. That said, for their troubles, we have a tug, the former mine layer, coming in now, trying to clutch out a little defense here. ANS going for that 4-cap, trying to get themselves ahead on points. This is to 1,000 points, so it can matter quite a bit. Those points do add up quite quickly once the game timer starts ticking. Down on the B side, we see that the CL and Destroyer pair are no longer contested here, so ANS taking that early game victory, now able to kind of push forwards and see if they can't pen in the OSP team. OSP being forced back pretty much to the C point here now, as they're losing surprisingly on all fronts now. The Acellos here trying to get themselves into range to attack that little, I almost said this was a Corvette, this little light cruiser down below, but instead having to go after missiles here with their AMMs. Ooh, there's a beam for their trouble. Yeah, ANS has decided that it is time to push in the OSP. OSP can still hold their own pretty well here once they consolidate their groups and decide which of these angles to push on, but once they finally get themselves organized, we should probably see them take back their points. So, in this case, the A point here being contested. We see this ship has unfortunately, I believe, been knocked. Yes, the CIC is currently red, so the A point is going back in favor of the OSP. The little tug that could with its mine-laying powers rotating around this thing, trying to get a shot into the backside. Beams down below. That beamstone hugging the rock the entire game, doing very well, carving up another tug. I don't know how many kills these beamstones have really gotten to their name, but cleaning up both 2 monitors and a bulk freighter along with a tug or 2 is a pretty good, pay to... Oop. Missile strike. Womp womp. There goes a ANS asset. Yeah, that is what sprint mines will do. Those sprint mines there, each of them costing about 10 points apiece, so that is 100 points for at least 100 points worth of sprinter guaranteed. Definitely worth it. Like I said, having mines to protect your back assets is quite good. In this case, the ship might drift over here. I don't believe that the mines will activate on the dead hull, but it is possible. You see now the drive and everything else has been knocked out, so there's no risk of a reactor detonation. But the C point, although that is one trap cleared, there is still a secondary trap here set up and ready to strike anything that tries to sneak into the C point. Bunch of crossfire going off now. They are not quite sure if this ship was dead. I assume they just did not see the mine hits, because, oh my god, our mine's terrifying right now. Just no time to even pop chaff or point defense or anything. You can see it did have point defense. It has a defender, it has a chaff box, it has the tools to maybe counter this, but by the time you realize the mines are there, they are already in flight, sprinting at you at 375 meters a second. They do not play around. That said, last little shots going in here. They will quickly retask onto other targets. Oops, size 2 hybrid coming in here now on the ship, isolated. Unfortunately, wham, lands in here, knocking out, I believe it was a gun and a berthing. Berthing, typically the first thing to go on a combat ship. So T-30s over here. They're unfortunately actually kind of stuck out in space. I'm not sure why the ship is over here. I believe they were trying to get around and maybe punish some of the light assets they scouted up here, but ooh, holy crap. The game speed is suddenly chugging. What is going on? 10% anyone? That is odd. Huh. Okay, that's weird. Huh. We might see a player drop here. I'm hoping that's not me. Yeah, that's 10% time dilation. That is very strange. Yeah. Weird. That's rather unusual. What 10k mines does to yeah. So it is known that if you spam mines, you can rapidly slow down a server, which is why it's generally asked not to do that. But that said, we saw mines deployed and there wasn't anything else going on here, but it seems like for some reason the game is currently frozen. It's rather interesting. So yeah, interesting. I've never really seen this before. F's in the chat then. That's unfortunate. We can still send stuff, although there's a huge amount of ping. I'm going to assume that this is a issue with the server. It's just that it's not able to receive data from us, so it's instead decided to hold and just wait for everyone else. It does say 10%, and I think that they are right in that that is the minimum time dilation possible. Time dilation happens a little bit when a whole bunch of stuff is happening on screen, but moving for me. That is a rather strange occurrence. Okay, technical difficulties. Seeing some interesting things here as various little puffs of smoke go off. Huh. I am not sure exactly. We can still communicate with the other players, so clearly we're still connected, but that is rather strange. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of motion here, I think. You can see some of the drive flares flickering. Huh. I have never seen this before. I'm going to quickly check the Neb Discord, see if there's a notification saying, hey, something's broken in that, but, let's see. Any notifications going on? No? Okay, well, that's a rather unusual one. I can't say that I have ever really seen the game freeze like this. I've seen it chug, like, pretty slowly a few times, but never a true proper freeze. So I guess in the meantime, we can just kind of take a look at some of the builds around the place here. We'll just talk about that until the game gets back on. For this playstyle here, we see some Sarissas and Illuminators, various little EWAR assets. The Ocello is actually a old ANS hull that the OSB have retrofitted and brought into their navy, but everyone wanted Neb with realistic just... Yeah, so a lot of people are saying, hey, Nebulous should be happening over, like, tens of thousands of kilometers and stuff because it's space combat, but that would not be very fun. I guess you could just multiply every distance in the game by, like, 11 or something. Ooh, hey, we are actually moving. It's just the shots are really, really, really slow. So that's interesting. And I was talking about the Ocello here. I do kind of actually like this setup where we got the two... I just realized this thing is named Wife Beaters. That's the name. I can't tell if this is a randomly generated or someone actually named their ship that. Sometimes the name generator goes a little bit funny. I feel like this is one. Yeah. OSB developing time dilation. Yeah. It's just like Titanfall. Time go burr. Yeah. So this is a rather strange one. We might end up dropping out from this match to go and see if there's another one up. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I honestly can't say I've ever seen this happen before. I was hoping this would only be a short little thing, but anti-molasses lubrication system, yep. But back to my original point before I get distracted like 5 times over. I do kind of like the pairing of the two 450s on top plus the railgun down below. The railgun punishes any ANS ship that wants to bow tank. For example, we can see over here, this light cruiser, it wants to keep its bow facing the enemy, minimal exposure angle, also keeping those armor plates on a very, very high slant angle. That way, anything that tries to hit into this is going to bounce off. That said, with the railgun, penetration value is basically yes. Like, it can technically bounce, but I can't remember the last time I actually saw a railgun bounce off something. So it will just, like, well, pretty much just go right into this thing, punch through every compartment, inflicting criticals until it hits the drive, and then it will probably stop. and that will just be a massive tax on the DC team. But yeah, I do wonder if it's the server we were on or if it's just something else going on. I know that occasionally there has been some server issues, but usually those will just straight up drop you. I've never seen it drop down to like quite literally the minimal sim speed possible. So, all right. Well, as long as we're here and waiting, we can just talk about some other stuff. But yeah, like I said, I like the idea of the railgun because these ships are meant to punish what the ANS wants to do, which is bow tank. So to counter the railgun, you kind of just present your flat side, meaning that the rail has less compartments to punch through. Instead, we'll just inflict a minor debuff on one of them instead of the whole thing. Oh, let me just like DC and see if it fixes it. Yeah, so far the Twitch stream did not seem to be causing the error here, so yeah. We're gonna see if that's the case. I'll hop out of the game shortly here, as we do have to run a ad break, and we'll probably get into another one. I don't think that this server is going to really recover from it, but still. With that said, take a look at the other bits of the builds. Just kind of classic 450 here. I do like Acellos, but I feel like a pair of Acellos, I feel that's kind of wasting it, because you're taking just 2 hulls. You're not getting the full OSP experience. Like, there's so many fun things you can do with bulk freighters and cargo feeders and tugs and stuff. I say as I look at the knocked out fleet, but this one's got a flat gun on the front. Yep. Ah, you're on to me. They fools. They've known about my secret lag switch, so I can not lose games. I just shut down the servers. Okay, but in all seriousness, yeah. We are going to dip out of this and go to our little commercial break on the hour here. So that said, shows up as a draw because we were a spectator and also disconnected. So we'll be back in 3 minutes. I might shoot somebody a ping and see if it's other servers as well. Just take a look and see if there's anyone in matches. There seems to still be a couple of games up. Let's see, area official number 2. Yeah, so there's in progress games on that. Which one was that? It was area official number 5. I believe we had hopped into the match on Salar, or Salar, however you want to say it, because that's the only one I see here. So maybe it is a issue with the area officials. I'll have to take a look around and see. But anyways, 3-minute commercial break. You can stretch, take a time to get a snack, go to the bathroom, anything you want. We'll be back after that, and we'll see if we can resolve these technical difficulties. Yeah. Alrighty, y'all, we are back from our little break. Took a moment to talk to some of the server-side peoples and that, and see what is going on weirdly. So it might be a CPU scheduler issue, I think they said, but checking on things there now. But again, speculations for the most part, as we don't have a exact answer, since most people who have sensible lives are asleep right now and doing other more important things. But instead, just going to hippity hop into area official number 1, just going off here. So we will see some more Nebulous action. Unfortunately, I was too slow on the draw to get into this one personally, but we'll be able to do a little more spectatoring, then definitely get some games in tonight, since I feel like playing some after watching last game. So, yeah. Not entirely sure why the map froze like that. I've never seen a official server freeze that hard without us doing something to deliberately try and break it. Some of the stress testing was kind of funny, where you get somebody who has literally every chaff box imaginable in the game put onto their ships, and then they just decided to mass pop chaff or missiles or just other stuff to do a stress test. That was not exactly intentional server crashing, but more just load testing at a time. So we found out that yes, you can actually make a server lag, but it's very hard to make them true proper crash. So that said, we're seeing now a good old ANS versus OSP, kind of the vanilla ice cream of Nebulous coming in here on the Pillars area official number 1. So you need to actually learn this. Yeah, okay. I know that a lot of people get introduced to Nebulous through various little outlets, either it's like some YouTube shorts or some actual long-form videos. I know Rimmy Down Under covered the game at one point. That's partially how I heard about it. But yeah, Neb is a very, I won't say it's a difficult game to get into, but there is certainly a learning plateau to overcome at first. That said, the basic tutorials will do a pretty good job of familiarizing yourself with the UI and some of the different mechanics. But once you've played through them, I recommend taking the starter fleets out, mess around with those. You can play against the AI for a little bit and have fun with that. The AI, I will not say it is going to like knock your socks off Alpha Star style. Ooh, you can see some big old drive flares coming in there. Alpha Star being the StarCraft AI that was known for being pretty good at what it was. Anyways. That said, yeah, Neb, don't be afraid to get into the game. Just understand that you're going to have to learn stuff. Played E for 10 years, sure you can figure it out. Yeah, that's the right mindset. I have said this before. I fundamentally believe that anyone can get good at something. It's just whether or not they have the, well, essentially the ability to apply themselves and stick to it and learn. Basically, if something is hard, you're probably doing it wrong. And that's not a knock against you or anything. There's things that are like actually challenging in life, and just no matter how you cut them, they are going to be challenging. But if you get the right approach, you ask some people, you just have an open mindset and start learning, you can get pretty good. I know someone who's just started the game like 3 weeks ago, and they already are like on par with me and a couple other people who have sunk like 900 hours into the game. So don't be afraid to try Neb. It's actually a lot of fun. A little intimidating at first, but it's as complex as you want to make it. You just want to keep it simple, stupid? You can do that. So let's introduce the fleets here. So coming in from EX512, we have got ourselves a little CL here, bullseye radar on the nose, size 3 hybrid backpack, if I had to guess. Ooh, actually torpedoes in that, spicy little meatballs, close range combat that, joined by some escorting little gun frigates. There I go again, calling the wrong hull. Some gun sprinter corvettes here, very fast movers and able to kind of buff up. So this is a nice little asset to push quickly around the map, try and exploit some of these slower moving enemies and jump on top of them and secure the flanks. Instead, we're seeing also a pair of destroyers down here. I believe missiles launched off from something. Didn't see what actually launched those, but got some destroyers down here. 1 and 2 railgun destroyers, very good at inflicting debuffs. We covered last game how railguns are able to penetrate through pretty much the entirety of a hull and always guarantee a crit on hit. So those things are very powerful. Nice little split assets fleet, something that is able to go fastly forwards, capture a area, and then kind of provide locks for the rail support fleet. Let's see what else. Over here, we have Hattie, seen in the last game. We've got 1 and 2 beamstones here in the little area we like to call the pillbox. Just kind of a nice spot you can tuck these and overwatch the A point over here. You can see a pair of corvettes going in now. These corvettes have torpedo launchers on the belly, defenders on the sides, and a VLS chaff box on the nose. This one coming with a bullseye. If I had to guess, these have command-guided missiles, hence the bullseye's need. Over here, they're squaring off against a Ocello that's trying to turn and get on target. That is a T-30 Ocello. That's interesting. Normally don't see T-30s, but I can see why. Seeing some double plasma turret on here and its other escort. So plasma used to strip off the armor. The little 100 mil rounds suddenly become a lot more dangerous when you do not have armor. The A point trying to be pushed here very quickly. Wow, this game has gotten underway super duper quick. I haven't even had time to go through the fleet, so we'll have to do that as we go through and describe the various things. You can see these sort of assets on either side of the screen here. The notations of what each ship is showing up in the letterings and also the general silhouette. That said, the A point, the rush attempted by the ANS team to cap this, they're just crossing their fingers and praying that they survive long enough to get this cap and force the OSP to then try and push in themselves. A third sprinter joins the carnage on the A point here, as these beam destroyers are set up to overwatch. So, wait, does this thing not have a... Hang on a sec. For some reason... Oh, okay, that's why it looked weird. I clicked on it, I'm like, hang on a second. No, it is just a bullseye and a chaff box. Okay, I thought my UI was doing a weird glitch thing, and I was very confused there for a second. But anyways, A point does go to the ANS. They had to sink 3 Corvettes into it. This Corvette, unfortunately, its drive is redded out. It is not able to move. It is stuck adrift. The other one here, yep, this thing just completely knocked out as the CIC goes down. Plasma is striking in 100 mil, already effective against these light holes. It's just going to tear these things apart once they focus fire. A couple of long-range plasma shots here raining in. Just A point is a bloodbath right now, but it is in the hands of the ANS. OSP is going to get dragged forward. I would not be surprised if these ships here get overconfident, decide they want to push the A point, and then just get beamed instantly. Some missiles going out for their troubles now that they spot the various assets. OSP has given up quite a bit of info about their various fleets, locations, and comp, as we see all this plasma and other assets just screaming in. Containers CMD only. Watch that lovely corkscrew here trying to evade incoming missile fire. This is an interesting sort of container because you don't typically see command only on these. Cruise guidance means that these had to be banked around a rock or possibly direct fired. I believe you can use tactical reference points to indirectly fire crews, although it's a little bit tricky. Yeah, right into the drive section of that Corvette. Down it goes. Wow, this game got underway super quick. In return for their trouble seeing the containers come out, they know there is a container liner on the map and they are on the hunt. Missiles going out now from the ANS team. Looks like they're scouring around this area trying to find something. They saw plasma coming from these rocks. A bunch of these missiles might bank over and actually hit the rock here since I don't believe... Oh, nope, they spotted... Ooh, what do we have here? Jamming bubble is active. Active Seeker does get 1 hit, though. Most of them screaming off into the abyss. Might be 2 hits, so most of that volley nicely countered by the... Oop, did not mean to scroll all the way over here. Let's go back. Commander Cooked here has a Ocello. One of the other benefits of the Ocello is that it can mount a lot of different useful stuff, such as the jammer here. This is able to be mounted on other OSP ships, but you most commonly will see a soft kill Ocello with a command jammer on the back slot and a radar jammer on the bottom. That said, they are also interchangeable, but... So soft kill Ocello exists. In this case, it's got a chaff box in place of the comms jammer, so... Let's just introduce the rest of the fleets here. So we got Clovey over here, container liner and whatnot, has a little bit of scouting here provided by this nice Bloodhound tug. I love seeing container liner players who decide to have other assets on the map because while you can do your own stuff relying on your allies, just the ability to have like a ship around the place to do some scouting for you, in this case holding a lock for your special CMD containers, I think that is quite a good thing. But containers are also very expensive, so keep in mind this is an investment. Let's go through these builds real quick as I get distracted and keep going around. So we're seeing triple railgun Ocello here. This thing very good for long-range fire, but that said, it does struggle. The refire rate of the turreted rails is about half that of the regular rails. Oh, I quote regular rails found in the spines of these beamstones. I call them beamstones because I'm so used to them having beams. In the spines of these keystones. So the two denotations you typically hear are beamstone or railstone, depending what is in the big old spinal mount there. So in this case, the pair of railstones kind of lurking low, trying to get an angle on that bulk freighter up here, if I had to guess. See quadruple plasma guns on the side of this thing. So let's see, Mars Cat has brought a... Is that a pair of plasma? That is a pair of plasma. So this is going to be very good at stripping the armor off any ANS capitals. That said, the only things that really have armor is like one heavy cruiser that's on the opposite side of the map and a light cruiser that is definitely not going to try and pick a fight with them if it knows what's good for it. Here we see now, yep, the trap is sprung, just like we said earlier. On the A point now, they are just barely in. Those beamstones are like, hey, how you doing, buddy? And it popped right out of the pillbox. Now the crossfire coming in from above, the heavy cruiser and light cruiser from both sides. It is a trap. The OSB has been seduced into pushing onto the A point, and this thing is just getting cored. You see, right from the nose, it's just beam, beam, beam all the way through. CIC is in the bottom slot, so he's luckily able to evade, but there's a magazine cook-off. That is going to be some interesting amounts of damage dealt to this thing. Reactors are going down. The drive is probably going to get knocked out here in a second. Ooh, 2 beams for its troubles. Yep, critical event in 40 seconds or so. That mag cook-off will probably take the entire ship here with it. So that is bad news bears. You see one of the monitors also has been knocked out. The other monitor has lost its plasma cannons. Yeah, beams for your troubles, just stem to stern on this thing. They are cooking right through it. Damn. Yeah, this is what happens when you go to A point. Everything on A point pillars dies. ANS was very lucky, only taking one casualty on the point itself proper, although they did lose some other assets on the retreat. But yeah, damn, that is a fleet about to go down. 10 seconds till the mag cooks off. Can they fix it in time? Yes, they do just barely manage to put out the magazine fire, but there is not much ship left in this thing. I don't think they even have a restore. No, what you see is what you got. They need to keep that drive and that Citadel CIC alive, but even then, this ship is barely hanging on by a prayer. That's 450 coming in from above here. A good shot to the drive is going to actually knock it out, assuming you get a direct hit on and deal over, I believe it's 70 damage to break a 500 rated drive. Yeah, this ship is just completely toasted. That is like 3,000 points that fell into the ANS's trap. They set that up perfectly, rushing ahead with the corvettes, baiting them in, revealing the beamstones at just the right time to carve them apart. That said, for all that did happen there, the OSP has actually gotten the point. So it is on ANS now to recap, but still, 3,000 points to get a capture. That is a very, very expensive purchase in the metagame here. So, seeing a couple ANS assets kind of lurking around the sides here. This one eating plasma for its trouble. Not sure where from. Might have scouted out the container liner back there. Hard to get the exact sense. Yes, so it does have scouting information revealing that there is a container liner here. I would not be surprised if some of these high up assets look to try and collapse down on that. The container liner, again, 3,000 points approximately worth. The humanitarian aid here with its lovely juicy boxes is exactly what you want to find as a missile player or somebody who is going to do a torp run. If I had to guess, these things, yep, torpedo launcher on the bottom and torpedo launcher on the bottom. What do they got in their payloads? Bunch of size 3 hybrids, actually, so not just torpedoes. Yeah, once these things get a line here and this ship was briefly detected, they are probably going to rain hell high from above. God, it's after midnight and I can't speak. That said, I can't speak normally, so whatever. ANS decided to push around here. Their one, like, super capital ship here. Wow, look at that. Decided to go with 120 on the sides. This thing is kitted out and ready for a fight, able to put a lot of fire. If you look at the front of this thing, you've got turret on top, turret on the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 side little turrets. 120 plus 450. This Axford is set up to spit lead. You see 1, 2, 3 ammo elevators, a 4th for good measure, a bulk magazine because you need it for all of this ammo. 5 ammo elevators. That's pretty much the maximum amount you can get. This thing is going to be a bullet hose. Look at it now unleashing against the acid auger over here. This poor little feeder over here does not know what is about to hit it. Yep. Wham, 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 wham. The first of that volley coming in now. Just a non-stop tirade of bullets going to pound into this thing. See, now it also providing jamming support from its escorts. Love to see that Axford with its little supporting assets tearing apart the OSP fleet here. I'm just a big fan of the command ship, like an Axford or a Cello, and then like the supporting fleet. It's one of my preferred playstyles because you just get so much variety with it, but you're also able to kind of keep that satisfaction of I've got a really big ship. So quite good for new players. It will encourage you to learn how to, again, play with one of the bigger capital ships, but also let you experiment with smaller assets. So would recommend to a friend. I believe it's Task Force Redwood, I think, is the fleet that's like that in the starters now. And I also know the creator of that fleet. Her name is Pyrope, and she is very proud of it. So, enough about that aside. Let's take a look around the battle space here. Ooh, what do we got over here? Yeah, okay. Stuff happened, apparently, while we had our backs turned. Rails just penning through all of the bulk freighters' empty space there. These things are super duper toasted. I'm going to assume that the torpedoes on the back of this ship just came out and wrecked them completely, because I am not quite sure. Ooh, maybe it was the missile support from the side. Ah, there we go. Yeah, here is something we did not see at the start of the match. There is a pair of very expensive size 2 missile launching ships here. If I had to guess, these were what did it. Size 2 hybrids, not something you'll see the most of, but when they hit with a HEC-P, it's still a HEC-P. HEC-P standing for High Explosive Kinetic Penetrator. It is pretty much the, how would I best describe it? It's like having essentially a railgun round in a missile. It's something that's just going to pretty much pen through the entirety of the ship, dealing damage as it goes. And if you get a direct on-the-nose hit, it will pretty much stem to stern something. So if I had to bet, that's probably what ended up hitting them. That or a ludicrous amount of size 2s. We see now a whole bunch of them coming in as well, staging instantly. There's not much left on these ships. Yeah, just everything here getting redded out. There's fires all across caused by the mass drivers. Yeah, 5 critical events stacked up on these things. It is nigh impossible for the damage control to come back. Even with 5 teams, like, this ship is basically just waiting for a knockout blow to be delivered by this 250 millimeter gun on this. Sorry, the 250 millimeter guns on this light cruiser. God, my words are not Englishing right. Catboy failed at English class. But anyways, let's take a look over on the other side of the battle space. So B point getting captured. A point's amazingly the Acello is still alive. So the B point back here is getting back capped. You see a little sprinter that could with its gun, just kind of waiting, hoping that nobody pays attention to it or sends a container. It said OSP team kind of getting folded here. The loss of the A cap just basically baiting out their Acello and feeder pair, leading to them getting beamed thoroughly. Over here at Mars Cat. Ooh, yep, there it was. Now container liner has been found. Does not have chaff in time. Wham, wham, wham. Wham. Yeah, just pretty much everything knocked out here. That said, ludicrous number of restores carried here. I kind of respect it, bringing 12 restores on a ship that's basically never meant to be shot. You can bring this thing back up online, so you know what? That's funny. Credit to you. Look at that. 2 large storage lockers, a DC complex, and a large. This is more restores than you will typically see brought on like frontline combat ships. That is funny. That said, it still did get hit by missiles, which is never a good day for anyone. We see now some 450 fire, I believe, coming in from over here. What's this? The Milk and Cereal from Lord Fluffy deciding, hey, maybe that's a good target to shoot at. More missiles for their trouble. Like I said, once your container liner and are spotted, you are going to get yub-nubbed because every missile player on the map will decide that you are bait. Bunch of things getting seduced over here. Not sure what exactly those are going after. At first, it looked like they had staged on the container liner, but maybe there's something else at play here. Are those? Wait, hang on a second. There's no way, right? The enemy secured zone in place. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder... I don't know this, but is it possible for friendly jamming to actually mess up your ARAD signals? I don't think it is, but... Huh. Okay, those EO types will definitely hit for sure, but I have not seen missiles like that go zooming off into the abyss like so, because normally they will go after a ship like, That's very strange. It could possibly be that their validators just detected a ship in motion over here and suddenly said, hey, we need to go after this window. Ooh, well, that's one way to end the game. Yeah, Reactor Debt of the Vengeful Spirit. That is going to be a GG. OSP, unfortunately, kind of getting folded there and deciding to throw in the towel after losing a bunch of their fleets there. Yeah, ANS played that very well, baiting them onto the A point and then just punishing everywhere else around the map with his good push and yub-nub strikes. So, yeah, really good gameplay from the ANS. OSP did give it a good effort, though, trying to make the comeback, but we see here now the power of Beam Destroyer tucked in that little pocket. And you see the beam here, flick to battle short. This thing basically cooks itself, but it is also able to deal a lot of damage. So, we're going to head back to the main menu and play one for ourselves. Yeah, ANS not really taking much damage besides those initial losses. They had a game plan and they stuck to it and really rewarded themselves. Really rewarded themselves? Yeah, that wording worked. Yes, English aren't that hard to do good right. The Nekoboy special. Foot in mouth. Oh, that's unfortunate, so... F's in the chat for that poor soul who did not know repairs. Again, I will say this. People, please, play the tutorials, all right? Like, I know that a lot of people want to jump immediately into a game, but Neb is one of those games that heavily benefits from playing the tutorial. Seriously. I'm thinking that there might need to be a more digestible version of it, so I might actually start getting off my ass and make some, like, YouTube shorts or something like that. Just, I don't know, little nebulous basics about the game. Just something that you can, like, kind of pick up and access in a minute. Minute-long guides. Anyone in chat? Yes, no, maybe so? Look. Yeah. OSP, unfortunately, yeah. Let's see these. We have HE. Oh, wow. Just high explosive. Okay, so yeah, a lot of size 2s just carried between 2 frigates. Again, 2 frigates. That's a viable build. 5-minute guides? Yeah, okay. I might decide to... I've already got a couple scripts on that just for, like, the very basics of people who want, like, a question asked and answered. But maybe a little more long-form guides about saying, hey, what is my fleet supposed to do? How am I going to do this? I might start writing that script then. That said, again, I'd have to figure out how to, you know, coherently form a sentence in this. God, I cannot speak tonight, and it is showing. Anyways, area official up here, number 3, pillars. Let's go. Can we get into a game? Oop, unfortunately, no, it is full here. So... looks like everyone jumped ship and then went back in there. I do want to actually get a game in, so let's go back to the multiplayer. Area official number 6 on Nix's Eye. We might be able to hop into that one. So we'll go ahead and do that. I believe this was the server we had actually just left. It flicked over to Nix's Eye, which is, despite what a lot of people believe, Nix's Eye is not as big as you might think. So Nix's Eye, of course, is a 10-player map now. At one point, it was a 4-player map, and I felt that it was just a little bit too big for 4 players, but 5 players does feel very good for it. Yeah. say howdy. I'm going to give them a meowdy back in return. We are at the real early, real stupid hours of Nebulous right now, so we can go ahead, join the ANS team. I'll just grab a random fleet. I've got a battleship, which I don't actually remember really putting together. It's been so long now, so I might have to go back and edit that. I don't typically play battleships since I favor kind of wider fleets, as you might see by something like, say, the Cappuccino, which is 10 corvettes. That said, still also a fan of the double Axfords, the Axe Fraud and Axe Evasion, two of my favorite ships to run when I don't feel like having a very big brain, which I might do now. At the same time, though, what if I were to horribly challenge myself by playing a Cap fleet when I have absolutely no brain power? So, seeing a couple people hopping in now. We've got Sylvania, Lord Fluffy, and Enehahaha, we're going to call them. There's a ladybug crawling on my screen. I don't know how that got in here. This is a game of mysteries tonight, chat. I thought I heard a mouse crawling around in the ceiling above me earlier tonight. Might still be there. Now we've got ladybugs abound. There's animals everywhere. I'm surrounded by things. So, I'll be honest, if you were tuning into this stream expecting some like highbrow, very intense, like, I don't know, big smart commentary, this ain't it. This stream is fueled by me having way too much caffeine, 0 brain cells, and deciding, hey, I'm gonna stream Neb at midnight. That's a good idea. So, that's the kind of gameplay we're going for. Welcome to Nix's Eye. Alright. Just gonna wait for people to show up. The other server did fill up, so it's most likely that people will hop over here, kind of being the overflow surplus. Some games will finish up, and then we'll probably get enough players to have a match. Nix's Eye, typically a 5v5. Felt like when you read Neko Catboy, you knew what you're getting into. You know what? Yep, that is true. I will say that I know things, but what things I know is kind of a mystery for both of us. Yeah. I will say that I am not an orange cat, so I am technically immune to that debuff, but I am still a streamer, which means that I have absolutely no brain. All right, we'll just wait for people to hop in. Again, if there's any Nebulous players in the crowd who want to join in, lobby is open. We're on area official number 5. Come on down. I just realized we're on area official number 6. Never mind that. Number 6, cat boys can math. I totally did not take math in cat school, so that is possibly to explain some of the stupid I've got, but you never know. I do like the little decals you can do here. Like, I've got my Neko tag here, which doesn't show up very well in the fleet selector, but see also the little anime face thing here. Got the ANA. Is that a Neko arc with an eye patch? That's hilarious. But anyways, we're just waiting for people to show up. I'm going to take a big sippy to maybe quell some of my stupid. Let's go ahead and see if we don't get a match too shortly. So, Nebulobby Fleet Command is, of course, a thing, but with that being said, we most likely will not spend like 25 minutes waiting for a match. Typically, once you see like a 6 out of 10 slots on a 10-player map, you will see a whole bunch of people joining really quick trying to secure those last slots. It's kind of an exponential fill rate thing where at the first like person or two to join, it's just like, hey, yeah, how you doing? I've been waiting here for 5 minutes or so. And then like when there's one slot left, it's just a mad dash race to get that spot. I don't know why it works that way, but it does. You know, I might try actually doing some Missile Fleet gameplay, because I haven't done that for a while. I will say that of all the things in the game, I am kind of a fan of the gun fleets. There's multiple different ways to play. You can play sort of roles that are... Well, there's different roles you can play, and there's different ways of going about doing that. So, for example, you could favor using a bunch of missiles, even though you're playing a fleet designed to do capping. You could also do a capping fleet with a whole bunch of gun. There's different ways to play the game, and it's kind of like your choice of your offensive style. So, it's nice to see various different options there. I've been meaning to get a lot better with missiles, because I've got a couple of silly ideas cooked up. Some of them actually work, much to my surprise too, but... That said, the vanilla ice cream of Nebulous gameplay is probably gun. Gun is fairly simple and straightforward. You see the enemy ship, you click on it, use your fire order, and you just try and keep your headings set correctly so that you can always have the best gunshot on them for the minimum amount of return fire in that. It's never really going to go away because while missiles and mass drivers and stuff are very good at bringing a ship down to like the red level for healthy components, they are not actually able to gray out most of the time. At least not the heavier ships. So you will always need some form of gun on your team, whether it's a whole bunch of small caliber 100 mils that are able to hit ships that have been opened up by plasma, or if it's the big old 450 rounds, which are honestly one of the like staples really of the game, the 450 round. 450 is in an interesting place right now because the 450 high explosive shell is very good. The 450 AP can struggle sometimes to get through the nose of certain ships. There's times where you'll see two capital ships square off against each other, like Rhinoceros, just kind of trying to keep their horns facing each other. They'll throw 450 AP out constantly, and then like 10 minutes will go by, and they'll both look at each other and say, huh, well, this didn't really seem to do much. So, but enough Balcon discussions for now. We're just going to be silly tonight, because apparently that's all I have brain power for. That said, I will also say that Neb, as it currently is, this is probably the best state of Nebulous balancing gameplay and stuff that it has been since I think I've really started playing. I played the game far before the OSP got added, before even the modular missile update, back when it was only Alliance, and I had quite a bit of fun then, but I took a break from the game, went on to explore different titles, such as Mech Warrior and that, and then thought, hey, you know what, this game is kind of fun, I'll pick it back up, and now it's kind of become my default, so if you see me, I'm probably playing Nebulous. That may be why I occasionally forget to set up some things before, like, 10 minutes and when I'm supposed to start streaming, but, you know, hey! Video games, yippee. I am totally not a victim of procrastination. Surely not. Alright, area official number 6, if anyone wants to hop in. The non-stop tirade of noise and words falling out of my mouth are not going to cease anytime soon, although that said, the brain power is getting even lower now. The lights are on, nobody's home. Let's see if anyone wants to hop in. I might dip out and see if there is another server that may have loaded up. I know Nix's Eye, some people don't like playing it because it does take a little bit of time to travel to places. It is one of the larger maps, being a 10-player map instead of the smaller maps, such as the 4v4s that you see for things like Pillars, Aorta, Avroya, Honeycomb, etc. These are all names for various maps in the game. Oh. See a join and a leave, so they might be back, they might not. Could be that they're looking for different people. I know sometimes I'll poke my head into a server, see who's playing, be like, hey, what's going on in here? Oh, you already got a match full? Okay, I'll go somewhere else and that. Other times you try and group up with your friends and you say, which server were we on again? And then you spend like 5 minutes trying to chase each other's tail around deciding which place to play. Ballin'. Yes, we are ballin'. Ballin' it, but at what cost? Answer is sanity. With any luck, we'll get some players in here shortly. Typically, you jinx it and say, oh boy, anyone up for like a quick match, the 3v3, and then just the entire server fills up with like 12 people who are like, hey, you want to play? Not that that's a bad thing or anything, but I don't believe that there's any 3v3 proper maps in the game. I know that there is plenty of 4v4 maps, being its common staple. 5v5 is also fairly common. Originally, there was a map called Caltrop that was intended for a 3v3, but it got turned into a 4v4, and that suits a little bit better, so. So, Halidut's Bluff. Alright, I like Halidut's Bluff. It's an interesting map, as it does have, essentially a big wall. So, as you can kind of see here, there's just a solid, like, asteroid wall here. It's part of a much larger asteroid that we don't have the entire map on. But it makes gameplay kind of interesting, because you've got essentially one side of the map that is, well, surface, and the other that's kind of open space. So there's various different ways you can take cover along this wall and try and mask your approach, and then there's the open space aspect where you can try and shoot the people who are taking cover along that wall. So it makes for some interesting gameplay, and there's a couple little scattered asteroids and other little bits around the place. So I think that it is a certainly playable map. I know some people who are not a huge fan of it because they find the wall kind of off-putting as opposed to the more open space that you see there. So. Anyways, just gotta send a ping off to people, see if we can't get like 2 more. Go ahead for a looking for game. Area official, however you spell that. Area official. I'll just bluff 6 out of 8. Come on in. Can totally type right now. There, perfect. So, send the ping out. Who will answer the call, we will see. Again, if there's anyone on stream who would like to play, you are perfectly welcome to. Come on down. We are playing in Area Official number 6, Miramare. So, US East service and that. Shouldn't take us too long here. We have had our healthy dose of Nebulobby tonight, but, I mean, hey, we are a patient cat. We can manage things. Plus, you have me to entertain you all in the meantime about the very silliness that I have conducted in my fleet editor. Speaking of which, I think that's a perfect idea. So if I go into fleet editor, then surely people will show up instantly as I'm explaining something, and then we'll have to start the game. I know how these things work. So. And quickly walk you through my Cappuccino fleet here that I'm a little bit proud of. So we're seeing we have got the various ships here. These do have warnings about crew, but currently crew are kind of weird in that some modules don't actually require crew. So we do this a little bit cheesy at the time, but that is going to eventually get fixed. So until then, it's just a feature TM. Leading our fleet, we have a mighty beam destroyer that we hide heroically under a rock until the very end of the game, in which case I can beam people who try and push my points. We saw last game on the Pillars A point how good a surprise beam destroyer or two can be in the right place. This is also housing our intel center, which is very important as it analyzes all the team's tracks. So comparing the intel effort of our CIC here, which is 1, and it only analyzes the local tracks, the intel center is 15. So this thing analyzes all tracks on the map 15 times faster. So as soon as you see something, you're basically going to know what it is. It takes maybe like, I think 20 seconds or so total for it to finish analyzing a target. There's a ladybug walking across my monitor. Oh, watch out, chat. There's a ladybug coming for you. Ah, it's getting closer. No! Seriously, where did you come from and why are you looking at my monitor? Maybe I should pull up like a PNG of an aphid or something for it to snack on. Well, never mind. Anyways, back to this. So Intel Center, very good asset. Always should bring one of these on your team. Like, it is a asset that is incredibly useful because knowledge is power and all that. So would recommend to a friend. Destroyer you can get pretty cheap. This one's about 600 or so points, give or take. I could probably cheapen it down a little bit, but I decided I wanted some stuff on it. We named it Barista as we were keeping our coffee theme going. We have the Cream over here, which has a Pinard, a Spyglass with adaptive radar, and a little defender turret on the bottom, along with a chaff box on top. So the idea of this thing is that it's able to, if we just go into the visual mode here, it's able to present this side towards the enemy. So you've got a Pinard module here to detect enemy radar emissions. You've got a defender that's able to shoot down incoming missiles. Now on the back side, you have a chaff launcher, which is able to launch chaff so enemy missiles can potentially be seduced onto that instead of your ship. Then we've just got another one, the Cream and Sugar, operating kind of as a pair. And because of the way the Pinard module works, if I get a cross fix, I can tell where the enemy is instead of just getting the rough directional sense of where their ship might be with one of them. So these operate kind of in tandem. I keep them offset a little bit from each other, but they provide very good scouting info. The Spyglass radar having 11.5 kilometers of awareness is very good to have, especially when paired with the Intel Center on our Barista here. So nice little intelligence package. Managing the other stuff, we've got the Red Eye here, just a little gun corvette. I throw this thing onto the A point with the expectation it's probably going to die, but it can contest whoever the enemy sends onto the A point. A point referred to simply because Pillars is the most popular map in the game and kind of the default. Oop. Uh-oh, we're getting players ready now. It's just like I said it would be. So we'll just show what we got. Sylvania bringing, rail array. All right. I will say that rail array is a little bit of a meme, but it is also quite viable. Railguns are scary. I would say that bringing a destroyer hull with just a railgun, probably not worth it. But if you decide to actually add on some missiles or guns and stuff, then it can be very scary. So, Neko, hi, Crystal, you're back. Yippee! We're just talking about our various ships. To cover the stuff that we didn't see in the editor, I've got a torpedo corvette times 4. So these operate in pairs of 2. That way they're able to dump 2 torpedoes at once, which is better at overwhelming the enemy's point defense since they have twice as many targets to shoot at. They're also able to fire off their little Mark 61 gun, which is 120 millimeters, which doesn't sound very... Like, don't get me wrong. In terms of naval, that's small. But in terms of general other silliness, that's quite large. Like, if you see a 120 millimeter shell, that is a lot of spicy kaboom packed into a package. Oh, Big Sippy time? Okay, hang on. All right, chat, this is what Big Sippy looks like. This lovely jank brought to you by my model tracking freaking out because it can't see my face behind my water bottle. I'm just going to wait for an ANS slot to fill up here, and we'll go from there. Yeah. So again, if there's anyone who wants to hop in, now's your chance. Again, if you don't want to actually play, you can also just hop into the spectators, which is perfectly viable. How big is my water bottle? It's about the standard size for water bottles, I guess. It's just I tilt it upwards so then it covers my face. It's got one of the little, you know, like the little pop tops. I don't know what it's called really, but It's got like a little nub, and you slide it open, then you just chug from that. I put this on my bicycle when I go out, and then I can just like drink that way. Anyways, I believe that is a match up. Let's go for it. So we got some various people. So again, you can play no matter what rank you are. We have people who are ensigns paired up with people who are commodores. Don't worry about it. Just play the game. Focus on improving. Don't worry about rankulus and any of that stuff too much. It is a game meant for fun. You can be sweaty about it with an in-house tournament if you really want, but most people are going to be like, hey, are you trying? Are you learning? Are you improving? Yes? Right. Welcome to Neb. And if you find somebody toxic, don't worry, they're probably not going to last very long in the community. I can count on one hand the amount of toxic people I have met in this game, and pretty much all of them have just never been seen again because they were mean, and Neb being a nice community is like, yeah, would rather not keep doing that here. Or they end up saying something that gets them actually banned because turns out there are terms of service, and if you are a jerk, you are not welcome for that terms of service clause. I don't know if it exactly says, like, don't be a jerk anywhere in there, but you kind of get the impression of what certain people are like. So, that being said, we're going to do some Capulus Fleet Command. So, our goal is to provide radar locks for our team and control the enemy's light assets. We're going to do this by sending one of our frigates up here, which is going to control this area. And the other one is going to go around the side over here. So, cream up top, sugar on the side. We're going to then send the barista down to guard our D point here. I'm going to send the red eye off to the side here. It's going to rush towards the B point, one of the neutrals we have. Looks like we got a couple of assets going up here. I'm expecting this to be a bloodbath, so I'm going to just send my cap fleets over like so and so. This way I've got 2 ships going to C, 2 ships going to A, and 1 ship going to B point. That way I'm able to cover each of the caps with all of my stuff, and my team will be able to deploy and destroy as they please. Being a capper is a pretty good thing to do just in terms of like team role. It does take a little bit of time and practice to manage multiple ships like this, so don't be intimidated if you're not able to manage all your ships at once. It is perfectly fine to play only like 1 or 2 ships. I wouldn't recommend playing just 1 ship unless you like thoroughly know what you're doing, because that will typically be a battleship or a container liner, and those take a little bit of time to learn, even though it does seem like the natural idea. So hey, I only want to manage 1 ship, I'll just make a super battleship. That makes you a very big target. If you're a new player, play the starter fleets. There's a reason there is no battleships in the starter fleets, okay? It takes a little bit more practice and a little bit more game sense, but you will get it in time, and you will develop skill and develop builds. So, if you want to have big, heavy capitals, Task Force Oak is your best friend. It is legitimately like one of actually the best fleets in the game. Like, just take that concept of 2 Axfords with big guns, and you're pretty much gold. Like, if you just practice Task Force Oak, it will take you very far in life. Anyways, we see the enemy deploying in now. Looks like a pair of bulk freighters, judging by the drive size, and a little escort with them. Maybe a container liner as well. Gonna say like 3 bulkers E, and then 2 more on the right. I don't know exactly if they're bulk freighters or not, but we're just gonna go by the assumption that they are, since it's kind of one of the more common OSP holes. They could be Acellos as well, but we don't know for sure. So we're just gonna order our various assets around the map now as we give them moving orders, getting them underway. Let's see, the intel here, we're just going to go into the D point to cap that. We're going to take our A capper here and send it off on its merry way to the B point. Set you to flank speed. Set you as well to flank speed, since I need you to get somewhere quick. Corvettes have a modifier on their hull to reduce their flank damage chance, I believe so. The flank damage, this increases your maximum speed by 50%, and also the acceleration, the thrust provided by your main thruster here by 50%. So it's a way to accelerate very quickly and get yourself into position. That said, it does come with the risk of every once in a while your thrusters will take damage randomly, so your damage control teams have to hop around and quickly fix them. So if you're taking a lot of incoming fire and you're still burning flank, you will end up actually cooking your thrusters down. But while we're just like this, it's perfectly fine to keep them on flank, since you're able to get places faster. We're going to go around like so. Going to select my Spyglass frigate up here. Going to have it set its heading and roll, so that way I'm always able to keep these Pennard pointed towards the enemy. I'm going to have you set your heading this way. Then we're going to have the roll command set like that. Doing a little bit of a bit there. So unfortunately, sometimes people forget to toggle into team chat there, but just gonna go ahead and move ourselves up. Here we see we have a friendly missile boat here. So wow, that is a lot of missile on this thing. I hope that some of those are torpedoes, because if you're going just straight missiles, you can actually bring like 3 or 4 frigates, and it's a very good launch platform.
Standing
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, see, it's like, I think you've got the wrong map. Yeah. I think you should KIL. I love when people get in on a bit like that. It's like, oops, somebody did like a silly thing in all chat. Oh no. They just like have a little bit of egg on face, kind of like mild embarrassment, but also just like everyone's here for a good time silliness. No big deal. Anyways, we have 1 radar track over there, so we know that there is something over there. We can even see something now, actually. I'm going to mark that as an attack marker here. So, the attack marker is very good, since we're able to kind of get a mark on the enemy fleets. Oop, we need to keep ourselves moving. We see one of their cappers going down here. Yeah, the CL trio should be able to clean this up pretty handily. Whole bunch of RPF rounds going out. That is a poor shuttle. We're going to instead play the flanker route, where we go around the side here, trying to get on them. Thanks to our sugar, we are able to stay high and also scout at the enemy. I set you to flank as well, so I can get you faster up to where I want you to be. Checking on you, you're going to fire your RPF rounds like so. I'm going to assume that they are, let's see, what could they be? I don't know exactly what that could be, but still. I'm going to move you into place to guard this rock's underside, just like so. I'll deal with you in a bit. You're going to be up here. All right, so we have to just stay aware of everything around the map. So we're firing RPF at target here. I'll switch over to high explosive since we are close enough range. It is just a little clipper. We have a shuttle as well up top that's actually shooting back at us, so we're going to engage that one. Disabling flank here. Just going to do a little bit of silly maneuvering like that. Fortunately, we are taking a bit of fire, so that is going to cause problems. We see that there is an enemy high up above. Hello there, sir. Which means we're going to send you to a stop and signal an attack marker up here. Something that we're going to have to clean up. All right, now as for these, they might be getting spotted here in a second. That is a line ship in almost torpedo range. Ooh, hello, you. Just going to quickly try and hide this thing, also keeping ourselves exposed. Oh, number 5 is alive. Yep, we're taking fire there, as we see, so we're just going to quickly order you back. We are going to get this cap, but maybe at a cost. The number 7 up top, we see that there is a clipper here. We've been burned through on something. You can tell by the purple marker there. As for you, number 8, you're going to go over here, and we're going to adjust your roll slightly. We do see that there's something up top here, so we're going to put a warning marker on that. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's early warning radar of some sort. I'm going to engage various assets here real quick. We see there is a pair of bulk freighters here, which I think we can engage on. See, number 1 is being scouted by something as well here. I don't like whatever that is, so I'm going to shoot a missile at it. All right, number 1, you are good to fire. Weapons, where are you? Here we go. That looks about rightish over there. Fire for effect. I don't know if these will hit or not, but we're going to find out. They've definitely scouted us out with something, so we're just going to decide to go in on this here. Yeah, this bulk freighter, and a tug. We are going to engage what we can. Order them onto these ones. We're going to target one of them and hope for the best. Signal this one as priority. Let's go. All right, yep. Time to torp. Torp's out in the water. Let's go, baby. Woohoo! Going to accelerate quickly since we are going to get shredded here, so we need to make sure we deal with that. Going to move ourselves off the point back here, micromanaging our little buddy to hell. So you see a whole bunch of fire coming in now, but we are able to dump pretty much our entire payloads. I'm going to order the missiles to fire as well. A bunch of AMMs coming out, but we are also getting torpedoes out in the water. Their point defense trying to fire off here. Number 4, you are going to break off real quick. Number 3, stay on target. Everything happening. Ag. Oh, right. I forgot I had jamming. That's important. Ag. I forgot. We're going to fire high explosives at that tug. Bunch of torpedoes kind of going out here, getting seduced, unfortunately, onto chaff. That said, they might come around and hit something else. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Maybe no. Unfortunately, we did get jumped and overturned there. Our CL's currently pulling back for the moment. That said, the enemy is exposed here, so they can jump on them. We'll see if we are able to do anything here or not. Yeah, unfortunately, heavily just overturned here. Don't have the ability to really move either of these guys, so we're just going to try and pull them out into a bad position. We are getting a magazine cook-off. Okay, I am going to just have these guys stay here, because mostly I can't really do anything else about them, but did we get those missile hits? I don't know. That said, number 1 is going to go up here. Missiles are out in the water, so at least we have scouted the enemy. A bunch of return fire going to happen for that one. You are going to go over here. Oh, the heck? Oh, crap. I did not realize that your gun had been taken out. That is a problem. Okay, you have a single cannon. That's rather annoying. All right, we're going to send a beam destroyer over there. We're We're gonna have this thing fire on position like so. I'm gonna set it to holding fire. This is me trying to micro my heart out without a very big clue. So, hey, what are you gonna do? All right, let's take a look at our other scouting assets. So we know that we have a scouting asset here that is able to move itself around. We're going to clear its heading and rolls, just that way it can move freely. This thing is able to consistently scout at the enemy, so we're going to move it up ever so slightly. Our rail array is now moving into bracket the enemy. We know where they are, and we know that there's a pair of bulk freighters there that had to pop a lot of their chaff and other missile defenses. So with any luck, this big missile strike will come in and hit stuff. Seeing more point defense and other shots being taken here. Let's see what we get. Yep, there they are going. Ba, 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 ba. Going to use our signaling pings here, if I can. Marker these guys there. There we are. So that should be an actual sword ping.
Component lost.
E-sword actual. Going to call it just as I see it. Going to keep on moving after them since I want to essentially see where they are at all times. My job is, again, situational awareness. These ships are going to probably reactor bloom in a second or two here. Yep. Oh, hey, Platinum Egg is raiding. Welcome. We are playing Nebulous Fleet Command. How you doing, raiders? I am... Okay, there's a lot going on right now that we're going to try and talk about. So, let's do this real quick. All right, we have a beam destroyer in the backfield who is trying to rotate over and take care of a shuttle on the B point. We're playing Haldis Bluff. I'm assuming that nobody knows what any of these words mean, but hey, this is how I do it. All right, bud, we're doing this in Canuck mode. So, here's what's going to happen. We got a pair of bulk freighters over here. We tried to get a missile into her in that, and it didn't really go so great. Anyways, we got a whole rail array here raining down fire from high on them. I need to get closer so I can get good track quality and all that. Oh, goddamn, so much stuff happening at once. All right, y'all, give me a second. You want some meows? All right, you're getting some meows. My voice gave out of the third one there. All right, anyways, with that being said, there's a radar contact somewhere over there. There you are, you little fuck. Come here. All right, so we're going to fire direct on target here. Let's see. That looks about right. 3, 2, 1, get fucked. All right, turn down speed in this. Okay, so we got spyglass over here. We know that there's something here. I don't know what that is, but I want to take it out in a second. Missiles out into water. Let's get a look on this thing. All right, you, come here. Thank you, everyone, for the follows and sippies and stuff. I'm going to take that as soon as I can. All right, big sippy time.
Send traffic.
All right, anyways, Nebulous tax is being paid. Let's go. So I got the heading on this thing set this way. That way it'll be able to manage. We got our spyglass over here looking for enemy ships and whatnot. Ours just bloomed in that. This is what happens when you mod for bag. Yeah, a little bit like that. I mean, it's a little bit of payback. We ain't gonna complain too much. Anyways, fishtail missiles out in the water looking for our OSPN Peace Boat mission over here. Yeah, fucking right. OSPN Peace Boat my ass. Anyways, we know there's a clipper this way, and we know there's another one, so we're gonna play a little bit of cleanup on that. We are playing the cap fleet, which means that we got all the various big, important, fun things to do, which is you know, besides combat. All right, you fuck, come here. I got a beam turret, and you don't.
Reversing thrust.
All right, set ourselves regular flank speed and all that. Come on, lock on the target. 3, 2, 1. Get fucked. Come on. Come on, bud. Anytime now. Come on. Bud. Engagement failed. Oh, fuck. All right, anyways, that thing's getting beamed. Royally toasted into that. All right, there you are, you fucker. Come here.
We've got him in our sights.
I've got Corvettes and you don't. All right, anyways, beamstone, royally cooking through that thing. Be short off. That thing is toasted. Right? Yeah, you can hear them alarm bells. Get fucked. All right, chat. Here we go. So, anyways, Meg, if you're still in the chat, where were you playing and whatnot? Because we're playing Neb. I might be able to put that thing up, but we're going to just play it safe for now. Oh, here we go, bud. Okay, you want to come at me? Come the fuck at me. Come here, you. Get torped. Oh, missiles in return for us coming after our Axford here. Oh, that's a lot of rocket. All right. You're playing Persona. Ah, nice, nice. I don't know too much about the Persona series other than apparently you play a high school kid, and supposedly you accidentally got in a relationship with your teacher or something last I saw. Not sure what that's all about, but hey, live your fantasies, I guess. Me, I'm just playing a Spaceship Boat Command over here. Let's see. So the A point, we could reclaim it in that, but she was drooling, not playing. Well, you come to the right stream then, because we are certifiably drooling over here. Just absolutely no brain hours. What the fuck? How do you miss this damn thing? It's like, I get your act command. Oh, you. Oh, okay, bud. That's what you are. So we just found ourselves a bulk freighter. All right, chat. Let's come on, get this fucker. What do you got? They must have a jammer or something on them, because those missiles should have flying straight and true. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. All right, keep firing the HE on this thing. Drool not play. All right, time to go. 3, 2, 1. All right, yep. Set flank ahead. We're moving our scouting assets around, controlling the map. It's a bit of a coin flip right now, but hey, whatever. Got bulk freighter data away. I should be able to push up here and take this fight, I think. Micromanaging multiple angles right now. All right, we're in torpulous range. Hello, bud. Get torped. 3, 2, 1. Also, we got E-War on this thing, so let's do that. Yep, E-War engage.
Copy that.
Gonna have you cease firing your guns and stuff, because, yeah, I want these missiles to go. All right, you, I need you to really turn. Turn, 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 turn. Get that E-War on target. I want this motherfucker jammed. Come here, bud. 3, 2, 1. Oh, uh-oh. They might have locked on target. Oh, that thing's dead for sure. Okay. Yep, so that thing is royally right fucked. Oh, this might be eating all of my torps. God damn it. All right, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Okay, fire HE rounds on this. We probably won't get it, but hey, you know, never hurts. All right, these might go through. Pavis is firing out there. It's got chaff cloud and whatnot, but still, yep. Come on, come on, come on. Ah, just barely missed it. All right, whatever. Let's see, you over here. I want you on that cello there. And yeah, just burn the fucker.
Understood.
Because he's right in range of getting cooked. Anyways, this thing is happening over here, so we're just gonna be a nuisance on it. Yep, stuff's happening. Where are you, number 6? Number 6? Yep, you're good to burn. Burn the fucker. Burn the fucker. Thank you. Get fucked.
Standing by.
Alright, I think that's enough Canuck mode for right now. Anyways, we are trying to actually control some of this stuff, so I'm just gonna try and fly down here. There's a bunch of bulk freighters and stuff. Our front line is kind of collapsing. Our CLs are nowhere to be seen exactly, but that said, we are royally toasting that thing. Flick B short off since I think we've cooked it. Go on the other one there. Alright, never seen this game. Okay, so I'm gonna try and keep track of chat, but keep in mind at the same time, I am playing Neb, and like there's a lot of stuff going on. This is Nebulous Fleet Command. It's a fleet builder game where you spend a certain number of points to build a fleet, kind of like a deck builder, and then you go up against your opponents, and they do the same, and you try and see who can get a win here. We're currently playing 5 control points, so if anyone's played Battlefield, it's kind of like Conquest in that. It's even the same name of Conquest. We've got a beam destroyer here that's doing its best to cook through people. Need to prioritize repair on that. Magazine has defender ammo. That's very important. Anyways, we're going to just basically try and be the biggest nuisance right now. I have kind of thrown a little bit here since a bunch of my assets are not where they need to be right now. That said, that was one of our guys. Ah, crap. Okay. Well, that's not great, but whatever. Okay, we can manage the various points. I'm going to try and send this spyglass ship to cap over here. Spyglass referring to the type of radar on it, which is very good at detecting. Pay attention to you? Oh, don't worry. I'm paying attention to you. I am noticing you. See, unlike Meg, I pay attention to chat and that. Yeah, Pom-Pom's demanding attention, so I head to bed, so I will see ya. See ya. All right, yep, see you later and all that. Throw some last-minute slander before I go. Anyways, now that I've repaired that beam turret, let's have a look-see around here. Slander. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Just not that. You know, socially slander your friends. All right, let's see. So I am still able to beam through the 2 of them there. I doubt that they've gotten their stuff fixed, so... Yep. Anyways, good night, Meg. Have a good one and all that. Thanks for the raid. For everyone else who's raiding and all that, if you want some doom scroll and other silliness, I mean, hey, welcome. You're in a Nebulous stream, so silliness is going to happen. It's just as incomprehensible as pretty much anything you see on Twitter. Alrighty, you. There you are. You. Beam him. Beam time! Just need to actually get myself on target. Now, I am going to also be sneaky. I'm going to give him an attack ping telling me exactly where I want to cook him. Alright, you. Come here, fucker. I said, come here, fucker. Wop, wop. Yeah, that's right. You can't run. Nice try, Whiplash. Whiplash my arse. Tiny bit of doom scroll. Yeah, well, all right, chat. As long as she's here, I'm going to open up Platinum Egg. You know she stays up on her phone for like 2 hours after she ends stream just looking at puppies and stuff. She's like, no, Neko, why haven't you sent me any puppies and pictures and other cute stuff and that?
Yes, Commander.
Now, if this fucker would just kindly die already, like, goddamn. We're pretty much relying on our 3 CLs down here to clean up house. And to their credit, they're doing a pretty good job keeping these guys pinned down. Our rail array is rotating around, trying to get a good shot on someone. We've got ourselves moving towards the point here. I can enable flank speed on that. We're just trying to get the hell out of dodge for the moment, hiding behind the rock here as best we can. Speaking of puppies and whatnot. All right, where you at? Come here, you. I know there is a beam destroyer here, and I am going to cook it. It's the most believable thing you heard on Twitch. Oh, yeah. Oh, Meg saw a puppy today. Oh, good for her. She went outside for once.
Reactor is not responding.
This is great. I can just light her the fuck up. It's my stream, so I can make the rules. Hee Not that I don't light her the fuck up as is. Anyways, so microreactor going off. That's probably bad. I don't expect these things to live anyways, since there's just so many little light assets. We heavily depleted our stuff just trying to throw them. You touched grass today? Damn. Look at her. Go for her. Anyways, right, let me try and describe some things here before I completely L plus bozo myself again. I've slipped thoroughly into the Canuck mode because I just can't think. Oop, there you are. Hello. I'm pretty sure that you already got cooked, but on the off chance you didn't. Let's see, that shuttle is thoroughly cooked. I know that I toasted those Acellos real good over here, but just gonna take this angle wide. There you are. You. I know that you happen to exist. Hey, bud. We've been trying to reach you about your spaceship's extended warranty, you see. Right, so number one is going to go super critical in that. Not much I can do about this. I got 2 spyglass assets out here, just keeping an eye on the enemy. It's hilarious how bad their radars are because they can't detect me at like 6 kilometers away, and their radar's range is 8.5. So, hey, we take those though. All right, where's number 6? Number 6, come down here. Actually, you're going to become number 1 in a second. You're going to become number 2, and you're going to become number 3. You there, beam him. Why are you not shooting him?
Aye, proceeding.
Working on it, bud. Give me a sec.
Receiving.
God damn. Is that thing popping life pods? It is popping life pods. There we go then. All right, cease and fire. Cease and desist that. Yeah, so Beamstone's totally worth it and all this. Beamstone refers to a Keystone class destroyer that's just got a singular beam. We're missing a radar panel, but that's fine. Anyways, we're going to be looking around to see what kind of other real estate we can take care of. So we got our triple CL over here. We've thoroughly wiped one fleet at the very least. This CL group is pretty feisty. Like, you look at these big 250 guns, you get enough of these things firing on one target, they are in for a bad time for sure. We are able to make our way onto the point maybe sometime this century, cruising at 33. Got this other one over here. They are going to take the cap, and there's not too much we can do about that, but just set our heading this way, so if we need to go back real quick, we can. Keeping our ship moving out and abouts and whatnot, so we're able to stay aware. That said, our front line did kind of get folded, and I am down to 1 combat-capable ship, so we're just going to have to make it happen with what we got. Trying to burn myself onto the point here. Come on, burn flank speed. We'll make it happen. Actually, flank speed... you know what? We can afford a little flank as a treat. Lightly toast your engines. Just like your, what are they, burger buns and stuff. Think you understand it? Yeah, all right. Anyway, so now that I've got a bit of a moment to explain, Nebulous Fleet Command, very fun game, very niche game because, well, I mean, just look at this, chat. Like, tell me this makes perfect sense to you, right? This is a fun and intense gameplay. So, best way to describe it, it's kind of like Homeworld meets Battlefleet Gothic. So if you know either of those titles, Homeworld a little more popular. It's fun because you can design your spaceships whatever way you want, and then you square off against people who have designed their spaceships whatever way they want. And you see kind of whose abilities stack up better. There's a lot of different ways to play, and currently we're playing one of the more complicated routes, which is to have a whole bunch of little ships go around and try and cap the map. In this case, I got super overly aggressive and kind of wasted my missiles instead of playing more lurky and trying to hunt down enemy light assets. So, a little bit of an error there on my part, but hey, whatever. I've still got some combat-capable ships, and we are kind of coming back into the game. Got my spyglass frigate here taking a whole lot of fire, so that's not good. Let's see, what is this? Bulk freighter? Oh boy. Alright, well, that's going to be a problem. I might be able to get the cap here. I'm just going to order them to fix the command and control center since that's needed. Drive as well. I think I only got 1 damage control team. Okay, fix the CIC then. Decide where you're going to be. Yep. Fly evasively and try and get the nose to him, I guess. Uh-oh. That's a reactor bloom going off. All right, you know what? That's fine. We can bloom our reactors a little bit. This thing has a whole bunch of plasma and T-3000mm turrets, so that'll be a time to be had. We are getting the B point here. Cancel in flank speed because we don't need to cook ourselves no more. I think that actually pushing on through because these guys have that angle held right there. If I come around the corner, I'll be right good to hit them. So we're going to go ahead, set our fire order on a position instead of on the actual track. We're going to set to hold fire. That way we don't accidentally torture rock. So, with that being said, there's a bunch of bulk freighters around the place. We can keep an eye sort of on various assets here by being sneaky. Our ships don't have that high radar signature. Like, look at this. This thing is like 4.7 kilometers away, and they can't see me. I love it. Anyways, our railstone array up here, they're going to get into combat with some other stuff soon. I'm going to order various shots to go. Snoozing the ads. I don't want to do ads. Rails hit. 8365. Call the targets as I see them. Anyways, you are on the point right now. You are a walking time bomb, so you know what? Yeah, don't actually bother fixing the reactor. That reactor is going to bloom. It's going to take all the armor off this thing, and then it'll be super easy to paste. That's, I'm pretty sure every single thing is going to go there anyways. 8 point. Gonna bloom in 45 seconds, and that, yeah, give or take about, 40 seconds. I eyeballed it. Anyways, we've gotten this cap point now. We've got a rough approximation of where the enemy was since we did that. I'm gonna give an attack marker just so I can kind of get a reference. Gonna swing ourselves out here now. You hear one of our ships ordering the escape pods, so that's just gonna be a happening thing. I'm just gonna tell you right now, in 20 seconds, this thing is gonna light up like the biggest firework you ever did see. Because they're shooting at a little itty-bitty frigate that they should realize is dead now because the magic smoke is falling out of it and that. Funnily enough, the drives are still firing. I'm not sure why. That's a bit of a bug that happens sometimes. Normally, it only goes off when the ship is actually moving. But in this case, yep, you can see it now. Drive is out, so this thing's going to stay stationary. Are you ready for a firework, chat? 3, 2, 1. Our sins are bathed in reactor blooms. This thing has no more armor.
Reporting.
Anyways, let's go do a little more crime.
Aye,
We can do a little
aye.
crime as a treat. Let's see, that is not a threat. We just got a misidentification on these life pods, so we're just going to mark them as killed instead of an actual problem. There we go. Right, and
Help.
see, what actually sees us? That sees us up above. That thing needs to die.
Solution locked
So
in.
we're going to just go ahead and give a fire order on it as we move ourselves around
Aye,
here.
aye. Proceeding.
Reminds me of a game seen years ago, but don't remember the name. Neb's been out for a year or two. Don't quote me on that exactly. There you are. That's the thing I was looking for. I was like, there's got to be a ship around here somewhere.
Aye, aye.
Yeah, Neb's been out for a little bit now. It's like a fairly niche game. If you played Space Engineers, it's a little bit of that kind of building concept, but not done with blocks. Instead, it's done with pre-made hulls that you then decide what modules you want to put in. Like, I put a beam turret, a magazine, intel center, and that.
Send
So,
traffic.
there's also some crossover stuff, like if people have played, I think it's From the Depths is what it's called. There's a little bit of similarities there, too. I know some people who like playing both. We're just going to flick B-Short on and cook this guy in a second because he's trying to fire at me. Nuh-uh, bud. I got a beamstone. Come here, you. Just going to set our heading in case we decide to miss. Nope. Get toasted. Anyways, you're up here, so we're just going to have ourselves go around like so. Holy crap. He can't see me. I'm actually invisible. Like, oh, look at this guy. Look at this dude. He's got no radar. He can't see me.
Standing by.
Never played it to see vids. Yeah, Remy Down Under is the biggest person I know who's covered the game. Anyways, are you still shooting plasma at me? Fuck you, bud. Get
Yeah, we
beamed.
see them.
Wop wop. Right in there. That's right. Get cooked. Wop wop. Are you done? Are you done?
Aye, aye.
Thank you. All right, we're going for that point then. These CLs are able to clean up most everything. I don't know what they're jamming over there, but it's a thing. Anyways, this one, shoot 6523. Just gonna tell him to shoot that one. Uh-oh, this might hurt. Okay, this is gonna be interesting in a second, because, yep, that's CMD. I ain't got nothing against that. Okay, buds, this is gonna fucking suck in a second. So, when in doubt, flick B-Short on, cross your fingers and pray.
Affirmative.
I can see them corkscrewing. Oh no, they can see me. There you are. There's your container liner. I'm gonna give you an attack marker on that.
Break, spiker
All right, well, yep.
Affirmative.
3, 2, 1, turn off the radars. Hope for the best. These rockets are gonna hit us no matter what. Yep.
Command be advised.
Pop, 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 pop.
Affirmative.
We got damage done though at the very least, chat. These rockets are gonna be at the end of us. Yep. Wop wop, right in the reactors. Wop 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 wop. So, gonna say H stored is CLN. That stands for container liner.
Standing by.
Anyways, we got our little scout that could up here. We're gonna try and get to a cap point or two since, you know, hey, we technically have combat capable ships. We're able to do stuff. I don't know what the, what are they doing? They're just trying to hit that thing, I guess. All right, well, by the time they finally get here, I might actually be able to get the C point instead. So, see, how long did that say it would take? About, 4 minutes. That's not bad. So, caps are pretty even right now in terms of score. OSP slightly ahead. They got 3 points versus R2. I did manage to do pretty well with the assets I had. I just have to be more patient with my stuff because when you have fast ships, it's a little easy to just run forward and, you know, get yourself smacked. That said, we have a bunch of light cruisers here that are probably able to kind of, you know, just clean up the map. And we've got our rail array up top as well that, well, if this thing exposes itself, it's about to eat a whole lot of railgun shots, and that thing is going to cook off, like, immediately. Still, though, this is why you bring backup weapons, because you see them all trying to get, like, their spinal gun focusing on target here. But unfortunately, these things don't turn that great. Like, you have to turn the entire ship to actually lock onto this thing, so, yeah, they're struggling. Which, I don't want to run ads. We are playing video game right now. Damn it.
Standing by.
Well, at least some of us are. Alright, probably not going to get that cap, so instead, I'm just going to go ahead and try and sneak a back cap onto the E point there. We know their container liner is that way, but hey, what are you going to do, right? Just going to move our assets where we can. This is a very common sight. All my ships blown up, and I got 1 HP in a dream here, just a little spyglass frigate. It's got a single offensive missile located as the dummy, so that way, I mean, hey, we're still combat ship, right? 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 Anyways, gonna put attack markers down on various locations where I know there's enemies, and yeah, go from there. Hopefully our light cruisers know what they're doing. Looks like they do. They're just trying to adjust themselves accordingly. Ooh, reactor bloom up above from red number 2. Unfortunately, not taking anyone with it, but hey, what are you gonna do? 1 CL guard. Just gotta tell my team a little bit of helpful advice here, ordering them to split off in that. We know there was a bulker on A. Just gotta call it what I can. The container liner dumping its missiles and stuff now. I don't know if there's any point defense really in this network. I don't think there is. This is a lot of the reason why people will often say that rails are bad, because they just take railguns. Railguns are not, like, you have to understand this. Railguns are not a primary only weapon. You need supporting assets, be it missiles, guns, etc. Okay? If you just bring like 5 Keystone Destroyers with rails, you're gonna have this happen, where you have no point defense, no secondary weapons, you get ring around the rosy by a tug, and then everything gets missiled. This is rather unfortunate to see. So, anyone who says rails bad, you're using them wrong. Rails are really good, okay? Understand that, as we watch now as this thing just gets completely pasted. Flat. Let me cycle through. Let's see. I'm hoping that they're going to jump just like all of their missiles and stuff here, and I'll be able to snake this back cap. CLs and stuff trying to be cheeky. The C point is unfortunately, yeah. They don't have any operational weapons, I don't think. So this little tugboat that could, with its like little rinky-dink gun, is going to actually cap this one here. Yeah. Actually, interesting EWAR setup on this. They got a Dazzler and a Jammer on the bottom, so it's really good against electro-optical seekers and active seekers. Also just very annoying in general, because the, what's it called? I can never remember the name of it. Bellbird, I think. The Bellbird Jammer is really good at trying to hide your very small, already radar signature in the tug. Yeah, now the plasma is coming out here. Wop, 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 wop. So, unfortunately, a bunch of those missiles for the... Well, actually, this is rather fortunate for us. A bunch of their missiles are going after the wrong targets. That said, I think some more of them are painted towards the, like, actual live ships here. There's some bulk freighters around the place hitting them. Wop, wop. Yeah. We just didn't quite bring enough frontline. We brought 2 support fleets. One of them was the Axford over here that went forward and got blown up, unfortunately. And then the other support fleet was the pair of rail cellos. Or, I say pair. Did I just call them a pair of rail cellos? God, I've looked at too much Nebulous tonight. The array of 5 railstones over here. Yeah. I'm sorry, Chief, but, like, this ain't exactly it right now. It's just me and Amobia. I got 1 combat-capable ship trying to work a back cap. Amobia, I'm hoping, is able to get the cap here. We can still win this, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Dodging containers for all our worth. Tugboats and other stuff abound, but I am a very small target, so I got that going for me. Oh, hey, look. Lifepod Fiesta. Yeah, this is one of the funny things about how this bluff. Lifepods try and get off to the sides, but they can't actually leave because their pathing doesn't realize there's a rock on the way. It's kind of funny to see this happen. They just all end up stuck against the rock here, hanging out. Right, so... you can see now, that's the little one that I was describing trying to go for our back cap. Yeah. You got faith? Kill. Look, I have ratted some hilarious games. If you go back on my channel, last Wednesday, I had a game just like this where I had basically like 1 or 2 ships left, only one of them combat capable, and I managed to barely snake a game by the skin of my teeth. So, just gotta have faith. The Voxel's able to do their thing. Uh-oh. Gotta call that one out. Just gonna call that out to my buddy here, hoping that Space Amobia turns around and shoots him. See them now trying to get out of the line of fire here as this thing's gonna take the D point. It's got plasma into the aft section of our ship here. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, this thing's royally toasted, has basically no armor from plasma strip and whatnot. That said, he is able to get some shots up into the tugboat here. Ooh, another reactor bloom somewhere. I'm sure what that was. I think that was a shuttle they had earlier that must have cooked off. Yeah. Anyways, I would love to have had like my 5 Corvettes right now, but unfortunately I got a little over eager. I pushed them too far forwards. I need to hold my fleet back in reserve more. Too much of my gameplay is based around like trying to skulk around and find the enemies, but the problem is I get ahead of myself, and then when I try and charge in, they just end up destroying me. If I had Corvettes alive right now, this would be a completely different game. So, whew. All right, go away, Twitch ads. No, we still have gameplay to do. I don't want to have any of y'all interrupted. It is rather annoying that Twitch makes you run ads. I really wish that I didn't, but like so many of the features and stuff are relied on that. Crystal has 0 faith. Oh, well, congrats on being an atheist and all that. Good for you in that. So the tug here, getting shot up a little bit. We got plasma 100s. It's just kind of scraps left for both fleets. Like, we took down a pair of Acellos, which means, honestly, I think I did my tonnage's worth. Like, I might not have played the best, but I did, like, take out probably 6,000 points worth of stuff over on the B point. So I can't say I'm disappointed with that. My torpedo strikes could have been a lot better. I, again, was a little too overeager with them. Should have taken the time to line up better. But hey, whatever. We're just trying to make our way down here. You build your own ships? Yeah, I'll show you all the fleet editor in a second once we've gotten out of this game. It's because I still have an active ship. I don't want to disconnect because that'd be a little bit of a bummer if, you know, I just throw in the towel saying, I can't win this one, wow, when we still have a decent shot at it. Like, if our light cruisers can clean up some of this stuff and actually get some of the caps back, we got this in the bag. They're pushing up for this top point here. I'm going to try and sneak a back cap, although I'm not sure if I'll be able to. See the peace mission here acting as spotter. Neko, what are the yellow boxes with the big numbers? Okay, so sometimes you'll see this. This represents jamming and stuff. So if we take a look over here, you can see that this thing has a jammer. You can tell by that little strobe blob. It represents like false radar tracks and stuff. The real ones are in red and sometimes priorities marked in orange. But that's a thing we can do. Like right-click signal, and then we have priority. These are the various different signals you can do. Tactical reference point for using missiles. Mines is warning. Warning signal, defend, attack, move. Ping tool is really, really useful. So this is probably a tug or container liner. I'm not sure which. Either way, we're just going to try and zoom towards the point and hope that nobody hits us. This thing is not moved, so I'm assuming that I killed it. That said, I haven't seen the life pod. They might be stuck over here. Or this might be some of mine. Hard to say. Either way, don't mind us. Yep. Container liner has no payload that I can see. It has a jammer. It has a jammer? Huh. That's unexpected. Luckily, we have a single missile in a dream. We won't kill it, but we will count as more armed than it is. So we just need to dive onto the point now. This thing is popping chaff by the looks of it. It's still spewing a lot of fire. I did try and torpedo this thing earlier, but unfortunately they have good point defense. The Pavis being a very, very powerful counter to torpedoes right now. It's a 200mm autocannon. For those of you who know what a CWIS system is, it's basically that. Just goes pew-pew at incoming fire. See double jammer going off here now. So we're just trying to burn our way onto the E point. Unfortunately, we are not the fastest thing, but hey, the container liner is just cruising past us. Don't mind us. It might get the B point, but I'm betting that I can cap this before it gets to there. So, plus, we got 3 caps here and a dream. Let's see if we get it. I have a really strong urge to say, how do you do, Mr. Container Liner? But I don't want to draw attention to myself. Because I'm hoping my enemies are really dumb and not paying attention to the point, because nobody has shot me yet over here. So, is this thing moving? Given that this thing is not moving, I'm hesitantly saying it's dead. That said, I'm certain that like something would come after me in a sec. Just hang on for it, all right? That's it. We are holding the point kind of up here. Like, we got Charlie. We got this. All right. Just saying now. Yep. How do you do, Mr. CLN? How do you do, Mr. CLN? You see it now turning around. It's like, oh, that's a frigate going towards my point. I got to go back and cap this thing again.
For your orders, Commander.
This is the awkward moment where you both basically have ships that... Well, okay, you know what? That answers that question. I wasn't sure if that bulk freighter over there was dead, but, well, now they are.
Waiting orders.
Hello, how do you do, Mr. Rain's class frigate? We're just hanging out, going by each other. He's trying to come out to me. I'm just running by here. Yep. We're on to the point now. Oh. Let me just squeeze onto this point here. Don't mind me. I think he's shooting at me, or something is anyways. No, never mind. Yes, the hero, the raider is coming by. Let's go. Tugboat over here. Yeah. Our container liner getting shot in the butt. Well, all we had to do was believe. Yep. He's been fooled. We drew him back here. He could have actually gone over and capped that point, but he didn't. Instead, we're going to get this one.
We're on the way.
All right, let's go. We are still in it, chat. So we are going for a 4 cap. They have 876 to our 800, but getting a 4 cap, we fill 4 times faster than they do. So really, we need 50 points to win, and they'll need 100 and something, like 124, I think? Yeah, that's somehow how the math works, because, yeah, 4 times the capping power. Woohoo!
On the move.
I can't believe that this is working. This is a scuffed game. This is the fun part of Neb, where, like, after you have your big fight kind of like in the mid-game, you get to this 4th quarter where it's super scrappy, and it's just anyone trying to pick up the pieces and find combat-capable ships. Like, you look at this thing looks like the kitchen sponge with the number of holes it has in it, and yeah, we're barely, like, holding on here. We have 2 light cruisers trying to get shots into the ship. Like, they might have a gun or 2 capable. This thing's, like, barely belching out fire. Most of its guns are, like, heavily debuffed or just not operational. It tries to use plasma, but it doesn't have enough reactor power. Like, it's struggling to use its thrusters. Atmosphere's leaking all over the place. This is the really interesting times to have in Neb. Right, that said, I don't think they have a way to back cap. They might. That's a problem. 2724. That is a actual combat capable threat right there, going after our light cruiser. But I don't think they'll be able to get a cap in time. This thing might be able to burn in time over here, but I think that if I can keep pace up with their container liner and actually run it down. All right, set flank ahead. Go, 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 go. Just need to barely crest over this rock and then try and get to the point.
We're on the way.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to get there in time because that thing is moving respectably quick, but at the same time, we might be able to CIC or drive snipe it because they are firing HE. Yeah, he's actually doing the right call here, going after this one.
Waiting orders.
Come on, just gotta get on target, get on target. gonna set my heading here so it's a little bit faster. Gotta go, 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 go. You know,
We're on the move.
maximum speed. All 33 meters of our seconds. This is a close game. I had like some hesitations when I saw we had double support fleet. I thought the Axford was a gun Axford instead of a missile Axford. Gun Axford's typically a lot better at holding the front line because they put more effort into damage control and other like useful frontlining assets rather than missile boating. But with that being said, like the Beamstones are knocked out, the Axford is knocked out, so that's 2 of our fleets down. I knocked out their pair of Acellos. Their bulk freighters are pretty toasted from just kind of being around the whole game and just eating a whole bunch of fire from our various assets. They're trying to chew me up here, which is less than stellar. That said, I'm eating some fire so that it's not going into our combat-capable ships. Just gotta try and make it to the point here. Survive, please! Fix the CIC. Ah, it's taking fire. Uh-oh.
Whenever you are.
We might be able to live through this. I don't know how many of their guns are operational. Looks like just a pair of them. I think I can get there in time as long as I don't get drived. This might be a misplay then. I didn't realize this thing was going to be over here. Its guns are still fixed on me by the looks of it, but they're taking their sweet time to reload. Corvettes are nowhere to see. Pacifica, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. We're just hanging out, finishing off the last bit of our Neb match. Yep, I'm not going to be able to get B point in time, I don't think. This might have been a mistake. I should have left sooner and gone over there, not realizing that the CL was going to plan to be here. I thought they were going to go there, so a little miscommunication on our part. But hey, what are you going to do? Well, unfortunately, we're losing the reactor, but that's fine. We didn't need it anyways. Go ahead and fix that drive, because we really do need that. Where's our damage control team? They're already on the job. All right, uh-oh. Crap. No, we lost our drive. Damn. So unfortunately, that's all of our fleet assets. Still, we should be able to cap out in time. I think we've got enough points in the lead. We just need a few more, and then that'll be it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. The CL's up here, able to kind of hold the point. Like, these are 2 skeletons of ships, like, just barely alive. This thing, I think the mag has been taken out, or maybe the power. It's not able to fire its guns either way, so, hey, this thing is kind of sitting dead in the water. We have 1 light cruiser, like, barely alive. This is Pyrrhic victory, like, textbook description of. You just barely try to squeak out a win. Come on, GG, well played. Yeah, GG, Space Amobia with the carry on the front line, 3 CLs and a dream. We're just able to barely squeak it out. This was a great game. I love this. Like, I was a little bit worried because we'd brought 2 support fleets, but hey, turns out you can clutch it in the end if you just know how to play and position yourselves, so, yeah. 1 more tick, and we have 1,000 points. That is the battle over. We'll go to the post-game screen, and ad break just starts up now. Yippee. All right. Woo. All right, we will be right back in a second, chat. I'm just going to run the ads for the 3 minutes and stuff. And, yeah, that was a hell of a game. I don't know if my Corvettes really did much damage, but I'm pretty happy with the W. Let's see, how much damage did they end up doing? Where were they? Like, oof. The Clovey, yeah. And good hits when they landed, damn. All right. The containers, all rocket containers, and then pseudo-torps. Ooh. I think it lost all of its guns and stuff, or disconnected. I think it DC'd? I'm not really sure, actually. Had a bunch of stuff there. Oh, big sippy. All right, Blue, I'll take it. You go both. Wait, I'm not sure why they surrendered in that. Might have been they just had to go or something. Oh well. If you do have to disconnect from Neb, Alt F4 closes your game, and that way your ships are transferred over to someone else. Yeah, that was a tight game. Like, holy crap. 40 minutes of just, like, hectic, all over the place gameplay. Railstones don't look like they did a lot of damage, but again, rail damage deceiving. I'm not sure if anyone can hear me over the ads or not. I know it runs, I think it's like 30 seconds of ads, even though it says it does like 3 minutes in that. So, yeah, rails can do quite well. I would say that it's not worth it to take a full rail array. Getting like 2 or 3 of them, though, as we've seen, is a very good supplementary tool because you can punish a lot of enemies with a whole bunch of critical hits. Rail's always guaranteed to cause 1 critical event when they hit. Redeem the non-existent Big Stretchy. All right, I'll Big Stretchy. Yeah. All right, Big Stretchy. All right. Whew. It's a good frontline amobia. Like, yeah, that's my favorite bacteria right there. I've slipped into more Canadianisms as the stream's gone on. So, anyways, nebulous nonsense indeed has happened. So, yeah, credit to the CLs. Like, they held on. Yeah. Gotta respect it. Interesting, not even point load there. I wonder how they've got that loaded out. But a triple CL, it can put out a lot of fire. And when you don't have to deal with a bunch of the capital ships that the OSP brings, like, Ocellos can give it a bit of a run for its money because a bow tanking Ocello can just eat 250 all day, every day and not care. But against something like the Plasma T30 bulk freighters, the like 250 guns, they will tear it up. Anyways, that's apparently the ad break done. So thank you, everyone. We just kind of sat here and chit-chatted, meandering our way around the various stews that occupy my brain. Yeah, that was a great game of Neb. I am super happy about that one. I did not think we were going to be able to clutch the win back because it looked like it was kind of decided, but then CLs just tore up everything else. We got a Beamstone destroying a whole bunch of Ocellos. Ooh, that was a good one. Well, let's hop in for another one. It was a match on Area number 1, Solomon's. All right, you know what? We're going to play the OSP this time around, do something a little bit different. We could go for Cap Fleet Gaming as well, but I might play something a little more simple. We could do Cap, we could do Broadside, or we could do Cheese. We do have a couple different options for Cheese. Some of them good, some of them bad. I do kind of want to run my Torpcello because it is silly. And I have fun with it. Ah, that's weird. This... Apparently I didn't save that fleet correctly because I'm missing ships there. There's supposed to be like 2 or 3 other ships with that. Cheese! 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 Alright, so, oh. Oh dear. Oh dear, dog. It's just my little treat. Mazer said I could. Yeah, so we're doing a cheddar build here. So this is actually a kind of serious fleet and kind of silly fleet. So the Sharp Teal is our Command Ocello. It's got a couple different things on it, but mainly it's got triple torpedo launching. So I can send a ludicrous amount of torps at somebody. This thing jumps out, surprises someone, and then 48 torpedoes fly in the water, destroying most of their stuff. I have actually thought about making this a little more serious by adding on a actual gun to it, but as it currently stands, it's just torpedoes. I've got a fleet of 5 shuttles to go with it, though, so I can actually do some cap gaming and stuff while I'm, just waiting for the torpedoes to, do their thing. You have to be a surprise ambush with torpedoes, because if you just send them across open space, they'll typically get countered and shut down. The closer range you drop them, generally the better, but point defense turrets shoot at like 2 kilometers or so. So you have to make sure you fire just outside of that so that they get on target and start doing their thing, but also close enough that you can really get that punishing damage in. So I think that, well, over here seems like a good idea for our stuff. So we're going to put some of our ships here. The Apple of Kristen going to go down there. We're going to send the Genie to the A point, and then we're going to send the Slag and Diner over here to the B. I'll say I got our cap. That way we can do the natural cap gaming and then go from there. Our torpedo ship is kind of our main primary goal to land hits with. But as we saw last game, having little ships to cap the map is incredibly powerful. Oh. I could also go underneath on the 8-point side there and then jump out at somebody, which that's kind of tempting too, I'll be honest. Could go underneath there and try and hunt any beamstones that I'd expect down in this lower area. We will see. You know what? Actually, we're going to Torpcello. We're going to Torpcello. We're going to Torpcello from down below. So we're going to be hunting after beamstones and other silliness. Once they figure out what I am, it's going to be pretty bad because once you figure out that there's somebody who's doing haha funny meme build, then they try and rapidly punish you. But at the same time, if you get a nasty enough surprise, you can make up your points cost. So remember, Neb is a game that everyone has a plan for until they get hit by a whole bunch of shit. And then it's just a, oh god, what do we do now moment. And that is the fun. For example, last game, where we had a, oh god, what do we do now moment as we try and cap the last of the map. Alright, where is my 8-capper? There you are. So, the 8-capper is super cheap. Just gonna tell him, I got A, don't worry about it. This is a incredibly cheap ship. Like, literally, this is as cheap as you can make a shuttle. I think this thing is like 80 points? Maybe 70 or 80 points. I can't remember exactly. It's only got a drive and a auxiliary steering, so it's the cheapest possible thing I can make. It's just meant to go onto the point. I'm pretty sure it's 80 or 70 points. One of them. I'm throwing it on the point because I'm not expecting it to live. I know that there's going to be a beam destroyer waiting. Tell him now, Sumi, don't go on A. Just going to ask them not to do that because, as we've seen before early in the stream, going on A point means that you are going to die. Hopefully they'll listen. If not, we might end up getting a little bit cheesy, but nope.
Enemy is securing zone Comet.
It's going to give a warning marker where I expect there to be enemies. Betting beam destroyers on ping. There we are.
Send your traffic.
Trying to be helpful to our team while also not like backseating too much. It's good to give people a little nudge in the right direction, but also just have to, you don't want to be like telling everyone what to do, but you also want to say like, hey, I think this thing might be happening. Let me help you out, Chief. Try and be friendly and assist where you can.
Waiting orders, Commander.
At least that's the idea.
Aye, aye. We're on the way.
Yeah, see, look, we're reasonable. I'm betting there's stuff here. It's like, yep, I got the cap. Don't worry about it. Save your fleet. Save yourself. Be safe. And then I'll just zoom my way onto the point here. You can see myself burning the thrusters. Again, I am betting that there's a ship there. Hey, look, I was right. Shoot.
We have secured
Tell them to
zone
shoot that one.
Eclipse.
They should see it on radar any second now. Alrighty. We'll just send you underneath.
Enemy
What the hell?
secured zone Comet.
How do they already see me?
The enemy
There's
secured
something down here. Hello, you. What are you? You are something. Okay, we're going to put an attack marker on that because there is a ship there that I did not expect. There's multiple ships here. Oh, crap. That's different. Okay. Yep. Full flank ahead. Crap. I did not realize there's stuff over here. That is very different.
We're being targeted.
See, this is why we check these places, because that's bad. That's very bad, actually. Yep. Full flank ahead. Time to get out of here. Yep. Okay, you need to early warning jam them, please, and thank you, because that's bad. Okay, everything has just suddenly gotten a lot spicier. Yep, cool. You can turn off flank. You can go over here. So yeah, missiles and other stuff abound. There's a bunch of ships there. Okay, I'm getting locked on here. They are jamming me as well. Going to try and burn through and see where they are. Thank you. There we go. Rockets and stuff. Oop, yep. So our A-capper is going down, as was expected. There's a semi-active missile coming at us there. Gonna try and grape shot it. Also gonna keep our early warning around, looking for targets. What are those? I don't know what these are, and that kind of scares me, so. Right. Let's see. You are corvettes. Okay, we can take corvettes in a fight. Set our jammer here and there. Go. Just try and move away from them now, since we don't want our Ocello to get pooped. All right, bunch of our anti-missile missiles firing out here. So yeah, the A point is a royal right mess. That is a target. Okay, there is our actual threat that we're going after. Those Axfords, I'm 90% sure that I can kill. Yeah, this is why I warned our guy about going forwards. Unfortunately, he just ends up getting hit by beams and stuff. A point is a death point on pillars. You do not go A point with anything serious, because it is gonna die. All right, let's take a look around our various battle spaces here. Gonna set our jammer down below again, like so. Trying to gain ourselves some altitude. Let's see, where are you? There you are. Some missiles coming in now. If you would be so kind as to battle short, just because I am figuring I need jamming here now. Thank you. Okay, so you're going to pop chaff. See it. Cease fire. Like so. There we are. Seducing the enemy stuff by doing our counters. Can't see them annoyingly, but I just drive ourselves up forwards here and then go from there. Yeah. All right. We know that there's a bunch of threats incoming since we saw them, so we're just gonna quickly maneuver ourselves over to deal with that. This thing turns incredibly slow because we have Sundrive and a Whiplash. Sundrive actually doesn't slow us down, but the Whiplash is not a very good turning drive. I need to have my sort of scouting assets moving back here now. So you are where? I don't know where they are, which is rather annoying because our situational awareness is severely lacking. Most of our team stacked on this side. We have a rail array up top here that's not actually aimed to fire on anything. And then we have a Ocello over here with, okay, this actually has some guns. So this too has some guns. Okay, these are like actual combat capable like frontline ships. Just we are a little bit lacking in our situational awareness department since all of our stuff down there kind of got wiped.
Receiving.
All right.
Aye, aye.
Let's try and get some cheeky torp hits off. So I've only got one type of torpedo, which is a 5.6 kilometer drumstick that I intend to shove somewhere not pleasant. And we're going to see how it goes from there. Unfortunately, I can't burn through to try and scout the enemy stuff. They are burn throughing on me, though, since they see me here. Okay, there we go. You are going to be an attack ping in a second. Let's see. Marker there and here. So we know now where one of those experts is. Going to mark that as priority. There we are. Again, going to try and skirt low below and try and come around the unseen side. Okay, so they see us here. We're going to just burn flank away from them, engaging our jammers as well. There we go. Battle short enabled. Make sure that they don't see us. Cool, they don't. Right, we are going to then just turn off our battle short and just go down. All right, so we have some actual light assets that we can control points with. We're kind of guarding the B point here, kind of not at the same time. If there's, like, I think it's 3 corvettes down below. If they come up and try and take the B point, we don't really have that much to stop them over here. So it's our job to just be sneaky and try and hide. So we're just going to do basically that, just hiding next to this rock. Just set my ships like a little bit apart. You want them at least 250 meters apart so that their signatures don't get much larger. If you have 2 ships too close together, then they will create a larger radar return. One of the things to kind of prevent death balling and stacking like every ship on top of itself. Going to position ourselves like this. There we go. Yeah. So the closer that we are to the enemy, in some ways the better. We want to launch from over 2 kilometers away, but we also want to be very close, ready to ambush. So I'm just going to wait until the enemy does something dumb, and then I'm going to try and punish them for it. So just try and get ourselves angled correctly. We want to be facing more or less forwards because, of course, our launchers are cantered, so it is encouraging us to shoot in the forward direction as opposed to vertical launch, which just goes straight up.
Send your traffic.
Now, with all that complicated stuff, and since everyone's brain has completely smoothed over as I try and explain any of the things I'm doing, we're going to see a destroyer here. Does get a beam off, but every rail in the world has just lined up and shot this thing. So, yeah. It's kind of funny seeing 9 rails go off. I don't think this is, like, in a serious match, a good thing, because this is a lot of overcommitment to our rail control array. But at the same time, this is really funny to see. So, power to them. I mean, I can't really criticize anyone. I brought a torpedo Ocello.
Ready.
So we're going to just have our light assets kind of homing around. We're overwatching this point, and we're overwatching this point. But the enemy is just kind of being around the place. We're seeing an actual gunfight going off here. Going to tell them to change their rail target. Because this thing has currently no cover, and it is able to very quickly get into range. This thing is already toasted by the looks of it. You see them now changing targets. Now, of course, the Vauxhall here is about to have a bad day. Damn, I was hoping they would hold their lock, but unfortunately not. See their rails lock onto target any second now, and whop. Let's see if those fly straight and true or not. Those might still hit. Yep. That guy's having a bad day. Okay, I have been spotted here. Oh, hello there, sir. Sir, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior torpedoes?
Locking target.
I did not think they were going to push this way. Okay, cool. We are just in range. Let's go. Engage flank engines. And, yep.
Lock on warning.
Torps out in the water. Let's do it. Well, if you got to do it to him, you got to do it to him. Let's go. Battle short enabled. Flank speed engaged. Let's get the hell out of here.
Aye, aye. Full burn.
Torps fully launching now. This is going to be interesting because I don't believe that they can actually jam me here. Yeah, we're just going to dump, like, everything we have here.
Solution locked in.
And I'm going to hope that they don't have nearly enough stuff for it. I'm going to move you guys around as well. See a bunch of return torpedoes firing at me. But that said, I am also... This is the silliness of Neb. Yep. Torpedo hits. I'm seeing torp hits. Oh, they came to the wrong neighborhood. Hey! Bunch of missiles going after the active decoys here. Might be able to change target. Oop, ceasefire, ceasefire. We might be able to get some torps actually onto you. Yes, fire on that. Thank you.
Aye, aye.
We're remarkably actually doing really well here. This is kind of funny. So a bunch of them went after an active decoy and whatnot. That said, I think we're still able to get hits here. Fire, fire, fire. Does this thing actually have chaff? I forget if I put chaff on it. Yeah, I put some chaff on it. I should put a little arming missile on it too. Anyways, a bunch of y'all are gonna verify there's actual valid targets here and go after them, I think. Oh, might be going after chaff instead. Let's see if it picks up another one. Come on, buddy. Chaff, wear off, please. Torps out in the water. This thing is royally toasted. Oh, that ambush worked way better than I could have hoped. I really did not think that was gonna work. But, you know what? We take those. I'm gonna hold the lock on this guy here. Yeah, Torps out. I think they ran out of chaff and stuff. They're trying to shoot down a bunch of them, but some are getting through.
Standing by.
All right, let's see, y'all. We're going to go ahead and recap that point since these things are just going to get railed down and probably die. I'm not sure if we can actually, like, full kill them, but we do need to recover the points a little bit. Provide some jamming here just for good measure. Well, that's a funny little thing we managed to do. All right, let's keep going this way, actually. Because we can't exactly clear this point, but I don't think they're going to be coming back from that one. We've used all of our torpedoes, so now we are just a big old fat captain ship. Yeah, that's going to be the game from now on. I don't even know if, like, we have AP rounds technically, but I don't know if they'll get through the Axfords. Hello, you. Uh-oh. Hi there. Jam, please. Ag!
Hostile fire and
Woo!
understood.
Rape shots, please. You, go high.
Failed
Ah!
today,
Fuck.
Commander.
You!
Standing by.
I've been krill issued. Luckily, I have a bunch of chaff.
We're on the move.
So me and this other capping fleet are going to be having a interesting little engagement here. Second. He's trying to shoot on me, but I'm not going to let him. I'm going to do this instead.
Copy.
So they did the smart thing of not allowing me to get a good shot on them. I'm going to fire HE here while I can and jam them as well. So you see they only sent one ship. Smart, while the other two wait in reserve. This thing should be able to get jammed. Yep, there we go. Has torpedo launcher, jammer. Okay, interesting little command ship. So we're going to just move ourselves up and around like so. You guys, yep, just fire on this thing. We're holding locks for our rail array, which is doing some of its stuff, I think. So not sure what they're shooting at. Ah, there we are. Another pair of Axfords. All right, well, we're going to mark that one as a priority target and go for it. I should be able to just clear my heading and stuff here, and I think cap the point. So they should probably know that I'm not a threat, but, you know, if your enemy makes a mistake... Uh-oh. If your enemy makes a mistake, they're going to send size 1s after you. That's a thing. Okay, yep, cool. Pop chaff, please. Thank you. You little jerk. All right, come here, you. I know what you've done. Aha! You thought you could fool me, but I am the best clown in this Nebulous. Let's go. Also, because I happen to have jammers. Good jam.
Jammers hot.
All right. You're going to disable that. You're going to disable this. You're going to do that, this, there. That looks like the formation leaders, so we're going to prio that one. Number 4 and number 5. Okay, number 5, you're going to stay in formation here. Number 4, go down. You do go down, indeed. We're going to fire guns on these things. I don't know if they have any missiles left. I think they might have blown all their missiles earlier.
We're on the way, Commander.
All right, anyways, actual serious combat here as we're trying to clean up any of this stuff.
Hostile spy
This
fire.
one's the command ship focus fire. We might be able to get a rocket strike here. I'm going to try for a couple of rockets. I think it's going to be too much PD, but we'll see.
We're being jammed.
Actually, hang on a sec.
The ship's too damaged.
Waiting orders,
Evacuate
Commander.
immediately.
Hold fire on that. Uh-oh. See ourselves losing quite a few ships over the other way. Where's it? Number 5? Yes, number 5 here. Unfortunately, damn, yeah, they figured out that I am there, so we're gonna fire. Y'all would mind firing anytime now. Fire rockets, please. Thank you.
Launching missiles. Moving.
Missiles out in the water. Let's hope that their defenders don't work very great. Come on, hit them. Hit them. Yeah, there we go. Good rockets on target. So, because we're jamming them, they weren't really able to see that coming. It just goes to show how strong jammers are. We're gonna try and get this thing like proper killed.
Send to traffic.
Go for that thing. I don't know if they just legitimately didn't see me or what. Oh, those are gonna be insta-stage. Yep, nothing we can do about that. All right. Any missiles? Nope, sadly not. Fire these.
Buzzer
Pop
active.
chaff. Assuming those
Running
are
out of
torps.
missiles. We'll get it done.
I'm assuming that.
Moving.
Ceasefire last second. Turn off radar. Maybe dodge. Well, we took the hit. How did we take that hit, actually? Wow, everything in the front thrusters. Let's go. Yeah, fire, fire, fire. Anything you got. We're literally just down to meme fleets, but hey, whatever. Now, if you just want to survive. We are 5 capped right now, so we might have gotten a little bit too silly here. Our Acello up here is struggling because there's a beamstone in its back line with torpedoes and beam. Our rail array up top is doing its best, but unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to be... Like, this Axford here is heavily debuffed and stuff, and like, it is taking those right on the nose, best case scenario, but I don't think we brought enough stuff to get us back quite in the game. We are able to get a, like, point here, but that's all of our assets. Yeah. I think we might have gone a little too silly close to the sun. That said, this one I think is, like, actually hard dead. Huh. Yeah, those are not our life pods. I'm going to call that one killed. So we got a kill, although they cleaned up the rest of our assets very well. Now we Taking shots in the butt here. Gonna just try and get this point and then probably go around.
Lock on warning. Standing by.
What do we get? Sun drive is out. Ah, that's fine. We didn't need the sun drive anyways.
Orders.
Just try and get out of range of this Axford that I torpedoed earlier. I was hoping that we had some follow-up assets, but it seems that bit of our comp and play issue. We had our guy just go forward here, and unfortunately, A point is a death point. This is something everyone learns when they play pillars. You don't go A with anything serious. Anything that goes onto the A point is going to die. It's just kind of the way the map plays. So maybe they should just add a sign like, beware all ye who enter here. Just like stuck it on the rock or something. That'd be a good thing.
We have secured zone
There's something reactor bloomed. I heard it somewhere, but I don't see where. I think those torpedoes are, yep, AXCMD. Yep, these are hybrids actually, so these are going to stage pretty soon. This guy did actually bring chaff, so where's the chaff launcher? Oh, there it is, right in the snoot. Okay. I mean, of all the rail arrays I've seen, like, I would not recommend this as a build, but, like, these did actually kind of work, sort of. He's got jammers too. Holy crap. I am legitimately impressed. Like, I won't say this is good, but like, they brought all the stuff you kind of need to do this. Like, that was Act CMD on you, which is normally a death sentence for a bunch of ships like this. He's still firing. We're pretty much out of the game because we're gonna get jumped on here any second now by like some of these guys up top. But I mean, huh? Triple rail cello. Honestly, I like that people are trying it. I feel like just in terms of how you spend 3,000 points, there's better stuff on the OSP side, but like unironically, this is probably the best way to do this. I'd have to do the math and see if like stacking energy regulators does actually get you higher rate of fire, but it's still kind of cool to see like rail cello going through. Unfortunately, Mango, they're kind of getting cooked off, and I don't think there's anything to stop this beam destroyer just running at them. Like, in terms of combat capable assets, yeah, there's now missiles out in the water. You've got torpedoes coming up. I like the wing of 3 torpedo corvettes. That's really strong because you can just bring a whole bunch of torpedoes and completely clobber somebody. Even with jamming, these might be home on jam. Ooh, oh, that's interesting. CMD home on jam, and there was jamming there, but they didn't go after it. Huh. That's a little interesting, because normally the home on jam seeker should just say, hey, there's a enemy over here, let's go hit him. But I guess because they have both the yellow comms jamming and the red radar jamming, it just makes it so they don't. We're seeing them now come back around and try and lock on target, unfortunately running out of fuel, but that's really interesting to see happen. Either way, rail's going out at whatever they can here. I might be able to actually lock whatever they're shooting at. I'm gonna try it. Oh yeah, right, we should turn off battle short since we don't actually need that. Right, we need to set ourselves up to be somewhere else. I think this game is this game seems pretty over, but still, I'm just kind of curious to see what the rail array does. Because, like, for the number of capitals, I don't really know how to feel about this. This is somebody trying something new. It is kind of weird, and I could kind of see this working if we'd brought, like, more serious builds and not just, you know, all died on the A point. Like, we all did some very silly things here, but
we're reading you.
It has kind of brought more of a real fleet, expecting a bit more of a sweaty fight. But you know what? Hey, I respect them for trying to play the game their way. We try and play it our way. I really don't know how I feel about this one, though. Like,
yeah, we've got internal damage here. Acknowledge.
I would say in some world, this actually has some potential. Because, like, ANS really wants to bow tank, and rails kind of counter bow tanking. So, triple rail cello, maybe there is some potential here. I know pairing a rail cello with a mass driver liner is something people have done, myself included. It works very well for countering things like comms jamming and for just, you know, you've already got a cello nearby to provide yourself a really good kind of like base platform. So you've got a big old antenna, the CR75. A big selling point of the Acello that is really not something advertised well enough. The CR75 is an incredible antenna, and the buffs for, like, the buffs it provides your team are not visible. Like, the buffs a Intel Destroyer provides is pretty visible. You see a beam, and you get intelligence really fast. Having yourself get comms jammed is something that a lot of people don't really take into account, and how much the CR75 counters that. I honestly think that pretty much every OSP team should have an Acello, like, pretty much in the middle of the map. See a bunch of stuff going up there. We're taking hits here, but there's actually nothing we can do about this, so we're just going to suffer. We can, I guess, repair our CIC. We've got, like, a few. We've got a lot more damage control in this thing than I remembered. Oh, right, because I made the snoot of this thing incredibly tanky so I could, like, charge at people. But, yeah, there's a Sprint Corvette here. Its gun is out, so we're just going to hang out on the point. Hey, how you doing? Owie. I should have put a ceremonial arming missile in this thing. That's a slight oversight on my part. Either way, we just need to repair the whiplash drive and make sure... I guess it doesn't actually matter much. We'll just try and keep ourselves in the game. If our ally surrenders, then we'll surrender as well. But we're just going to be here. Yeah. Triple Rail Cello. I think they only have Spyglass. They might have a Spyglass with 4 track correlators, which is something you kind of see more on ANS side. What it means is that your radar is very long range and incredibly accurate, but it means you take a lot of modules because that takes 5 module slots to run. So if you're trying to run that in a gun build, it means giving up space that's otherwise taken by mount gyros, ammo elevators, etc., etc. So there's a bit of that to think about. Yeah. Again, the experiment of just like, hey, what if we tried doing X thing? And being unpredictable too in Neb is a very strong asset. So, yeah. I don't know how to feel about it. It's one of those things that's just weird. And I kind of like it, and I kind of don't like it.
Send it, quickly!
Oh, that's our CIC going down, unfortunately. So, it's not a knockout quite yet, but we had to put out the fire, and then we had to fix our ship. So we're probably not going to get back into the game, unfortunately. Not that we were really going to get back anyway, since it's almost cap out. Still, interesting game. And technically, these things are still alive. They're not really shooting anything right now, because I think they're jammed, but maybe I just can't see anything. Why is this beamstone... Oh, right, because they probably clobbered the beam with the rail earlier, and it lost to that. Huh. Okay. Well. Certainly one of the games of all time. Seeing a little voxel here that is just, like, peppered with holes, because we saw this thing earlier get shredded by rails, which is, again, like, rails, when they hit you, you will feel them, but... Maybe if this was like our one support fleet, I played a frontline, our guy didn't die, we get 3 like sort of front. No, we get 2 frontline fleets, a cap fleet, and then we just have this as like a roof of the map asset. I kind of want to build this now and try it out because don't get me wrong, Triple Ocello is very expensive. You're paying like almost half of your points there for just the hulls. Oh, we're just gonna surrender now. Yep. Throw the towel, give him the GG. I'm not gonna force him to drag it out by killing my ship. I was just waiting for this guy to get done with it. Yeah. That was an interesting match. Has potential. Remember, if somebody says something is bad, take a look at why they say it's bad, and then think to yourself, okay, if everyone assumes it's bad, could I get away with doing it because nobody expects it? This ties in with how cruise missiles are currently in the game, where a lot of people say cruise missiles aren't that great, and so a lot of people end up skipping more point defense because they don't expect very many cruise missiles. And then, turns out, because people skip point defense and stuff, cruise missiles come back and, well, rinse and repeat. It's an interesting time. Let's see, a Firefox and the Whiplash here. Yep, these are honestly respectable gun build. I would go a little heavier on the 450 than the 250 personally. I think that Ocello's running 450 is kind of the staple way to like hold up against the ANS's big capitals. You can point your nose at them and tank pretty well. If you take a look down here, the Sharp Teal, it did do 16,500 damage. So although half of our torpedoes got soft killed, say that's like, yeah, a third of them missed. Call it a little less than half hit. So 19 out of the 48 actually got on target. Some get hard killed, but that's just going to happen. Some get soft killed. That's just a quirk of the validators and what I'm shooting at. So, hey, whatever. I'm pretty happy with this thing doing as well as it did. I just didn't have the appropriate assets to deal with the little missile shuttles that ran around the outside and got us good. Yeah, credit to 42 Misanan, I think it is. Yeah, they did really well with those shuttles. I called them shuttles again. They're sprinters. No. Yep. So, a lot more standard stuff here. Yeah, impressive is the Axford's repairability. Like, I torped these things to high hell, but look at this now. It's just all orange, all yellow. They managed to come back and recover from that. So, yeah, credit to the Axfords for surviving, because they got, like, 48 torps fired at them. Anyways, let's hop back out of this one. I'm going to take a big sippy, and then we'll get into another game, I think. There's a matchup here. There might be a spot. Let's find out. Maybe. No, dang it. We just barely didn't make it in time. Oh, well. We'll see if there's another game up, because I want to keep playing games here for the moment. There's plenty of open servers and stuff. All right. Tell you what, chat. Not sure if you can hear this. Oh, hello, the Dismayer. Bit of a sad-sounding name, but still, go off. We were just looking for another lobby. Tell you what, chat, so we don't get interrupted like we did the other game where the ads, like, they jumped in right as the game ended. We're going to take a little 3-minute break here because I need to refill my water bottle, and then we'll be back for more Nebulous nonsense, okay? Oh, I was just saying it's a dismayer. It sounds a little, I don't know, it's like, the dismayer. It's like, dang, who rained on your birthday? Also, I don't really know what I'm talking about right now. My brain has completely smoothed over like 2 hours ago, and I've just been playing Nebulous, so don't take it too personally in that. All right, anyways, 3-minute commercial break. We will be back after whatever messages Twitch those up. That's a book reference. Oh, well, I sure wish I could read. Anyways, chat, see you in 3. Alrighty, chat, we are back with our Nekoboy Nebulous nonsense and whatnot. We hopped into area official number 2 if you want to jump in and join us. There's 2 more slots left. We're going on Salar, the big ice map that we saw completely freeze up early in the stream. Actually kind of a fitting map to freeze up, given it's all icebergs and whatnot, but... Alright, some more silliness here abounds. I think that we were just a little too silly last game, so we need to still be silly so that we're unexpected, but serious enough that we can still hold our own. In this case, we're going to try and play on the OSP again. Go for something a little bit better here. I've got a pair of plasma... This is not the fleet that I thought it was. This is the plasma T30 combos. So these are meant to... essentially, a bulk freighter can rotate multiple different ways. So what I try and do is I try and point the top of the bulk freighter at the enemy. That way the guns on both sides of it that are turreted can then face them and cook them off with a whole bunch of plasma, and then follow that up with a bunch of our 100 mil shots from our T30 guns. So... the idea is to peel the enemy apart like they are a potato, a armored potato that is, and then we'll get to their juicy insides with something called high explosive I think it's high explosive something capped. It's HEHC. Let's take a look in the inventory system here. What do we see? HEHC rounds, which are considered... I swore it said what these were. Huh. I think it's like something capped. I'm pretty sure that's what the C stands for, but either way, it has basically no armor penetration. 8 centimeters is pretty much nothing in this game. That said, it does a lot of damage. 70 damage compared to regular high explosives 45. So, that said, high explosive regular version goes through 30 centimeters of armor. So you can kind of see the difference here. One of them very good against soft squishy things. The other one is kind of more general purpose, but less damage. So, I'm gonna hop back up to the lobby in that. Yeah. Show off my fleet. So a big part of the game is also working with your teammates. Remember, you're typically going to be 1/4 or 1/5 of your team, and teamwork is, of course, overpowered. So we need to work with people and be communicative and helpful and all that. If you're shy or new to the game or just not quite sure what you're doing, don't be afraid to ask for suggestions. A lot of people are very supportive, even if they are not like the most social. So, hey, if you're new, you want to learn, you want to do some stuff, go ahead, just say, hey, I'm new, I want to learn some stuff. And somebody will be like, hey, hello, little midshipman, I'm going to welcome you into Nebulous, and you're going to learn this game, and it's going to be fun. So, that said, we're going to do some silliness here. So, doing our strategy of 2 line ships together gives us a nice amount of firepower. Also, because we are 2 separate ships, we're able to adjust ourselves to attack from 2 different locations. So if the ANS team tries to bow tank one of our ships, we can have the other one moved slightly off to the side, which gets us some flank shots, meaning we can cook at their softer side, and also because we're hitting the flank, it's a bigger target. Remember, ships from the bow on, typically the narrowest. Ships from the side on, much larger target, you can afford to be a little more inaccurate. Also, you're more likely to hit some of the important bits. Typically, in every ship, you're going to find the reactor and drives in the backside. The drives in particular, because that's pretty much the only place you can fit drives. So, if you're able to knock out a ship's drives, they can't move. And remember, a stationary target is a dead target. So, we've also rounded out the fleet with a jamming tug here. This is mainly used for point defense purposes. Jamming is a very useful thing to have. I won't say it's necessary in the current meta of like missiles and stuff, but it is very helpful to countering a bunch of missile seeker combos that you'll commonly see. So, like to include that. For rounding out the build, I had a couple points left over, so I just grabbed a pair of shuttles here. They have a gun, a rocket launcher, and a point defense turret on them, so it's not the most complicated thing. I was thinking maybe I should give them a chaff box instead of the point defense gun, but well, I figured that they'd probably be getting torpedoed instead of hit by other missiles and stuff, so that's kind of how we ended up with that. Our goal is to try and get pretty close. Plasma, I think, works best at 4 kilometers, give or take. It does have a sort of cooling method, so essentially it gets like maximum power when it's up close, and then it loses effectiveness over range. Kind of similar to how beams have fall off. Other weapons in the game, such as railguns, mass drivers, and well, kind of your projectile weapons. Pretty much if it looks like a gun, it's going to deal the same damage regardless of whether you're right next to them kissing them, or if you're trying to hit them at the maximum damage range of it, which is just whatever the max range is set to. For things like high explosive, that's 8 kilometers. High explosive for... Wow, I'm getting my terms completely mixed up. For 250 millimeter rounds, it's 8 kilometers. For the larger 450, it's about 11 and a bit. I think it's 11 and 1/4. So, whatever that is in math. Yeah. Anyways, we're rounding out the build and stuff. We see Owen Montgomery here coming with, 250 on that, and then a little bit of plasma on the escorts. I like to see it. Bastion point defense turrets provide a flat cover and a interrupt jammer. Again, I like seeing the kind of command ship and a little bit of escorts. It feels very good in just terms of formation play and stuff. I'm kind of a fan of like you get capital ship and like just your sort of, I call it a destroyer screen is technically the naval terminology for it because typically that's how most navies were structured. You would have your sort of command capital ships or line ships and things like that. And then you have your smaller ships able to take on the fast movers or kind of otherwise capitalize on the enemy's position, also serve as scouting. So that's just kind of a fleet design I like. It's also really good for new players to learn how to manage multiple ships. So you can just go with your big old command ship, typically a heavy cruiser or an Ocello in this case, because they are a more forgiving hull. You can afford to take a hit or two and you can still recover. The Axford heavy cruiser in particular, it's got a bonus to its repair rate that we saw last game. That thing was incredibly, like, it was basically missile to high hell by my torpedoes. And they said, all right, this is fine. Just give us like 30 minutes, boss. And then they came back and were pretty much combat capable for the rest of the game. So All right, we're hopping into Sailor now, so we're going to be doing a little bit more silliness tonight. I don't know how much I'm going to stream tonight because, again, my brain is completely smooth, but you know what? Hey, we're just going to go with it. If the people want Nebulous, the people shall get Nebulous. Let's see, so. Again, with Sailor, as we saw earlier, it is kind of a split map, so we get the top points here kind of closer towards our side, the bottom points here kind of closer towards their side, and the A point right smack in the middle, kind of a toss-up. So I think that I want to deploy towards the D point since I can get cover on this rock and nicely try and shoot down on stuff. I'm going to go ahead and do that with our 2 bulk freighters like so. And we're going to have our electronic warfare tug go with them. Next, we'll get a pair of rocket shuttles and stuff. Thankfully, Owen Montgomery has said he'll get C, so we'll just see that formation of them drop over there. Dane and Thigh. Some of the interesting naming conventions of this game is basically the naming list is like 5 dictionaries mashed together and then curated to make some of the less desirable combos not appear. There's still quite a few ones. For example, I have a monitor aptly named Bum Crime, which I am not changing anytime soon because Nebulous gave me that name and I can't come up with anything funnier. So there. We're going to send a shuttle or 2 around just so we can be cheeky with it. I think sending a shuttle down low so we can try and snake towards the E point would be good. And we'll send one that we can just fly towards the D point to try and get the cap with. So that's our plan. I like having like 1 or 2 little shuttles or corvettes that I can kind of throw at stuff with my fleet because I can play a bit of the front line, but I can also contribute to a bit of the cap game. So if nobody else happens to have a shuttle nearby, I'm like, hey, yeah, I can do that one. Just one of those like nice little, not exactly attacks, but it's just dividing a little bit more of your attention. Every player in the game has a finite amount of attention, and if somebody's playing a fleet with like 10 ships, they've got that attention dispersed across a lot of them. For me, I've got 5 ships. I can manage 5 ships. So if I just need to take a look over and say, hey, what's going on down here? I'm able to do that more easier than my cap player is. So again, use all available resources. All right, we see the timer just ticking down here. I'm not sure why Mango hasn't readied up, but you'll see in a second. Maybe they just forgot to click it. I've done that a few times before, but either way, we'll drop in here and go for that D point. You'll see some of the silliness we have to do to get our bulk freighters on target. Show that in a minute or 2. Pod and Crook coming in here. You see the T-30s and plasma turrets kind of near the rear. I'm not sure if I should put the plasma turrets up front or in the back. I don't think it matters exactly, but maybe I want the plasma in the back in case I come around a corner. I want to hit plasma first and then go from there. Either way, we're going to set our formation up here in tactical view, so it's a little bit easier to manage. Set these about 600 meters apart so they don't bump each other. Set them to go over here. We'll take our electronic warfare frigate, go with that. I called it a frigate again. God, I really cannot call the names of stuff what they are. Call frigates tugs, tugs frigates, bridges, corvettes, everything goes. Anyways, you're going to start working your way over here. Set you to flank and set you as well. So now what we're going to do is this. We're going to set our heading facing this way. And then we're going to set our roll facing this way. That way, if you look at the ship from the top, I'm able to get all of the guns facing the target handily. I also have a little trick, which is to put a 250mm casemate gun in the back. The reason for this you'll see in a second, as when I give that thing a fire order, it will roll the entire ship to point effectively that way. So that means I don't have to babysit the heading and roll commands as much. I just have to tell that gun to shoot at something and the entire ship will rotate and do it. It's a nice little handy trick. And so I'm going up here. I'm going to set myself to burn flank engines because I want to get up there ASAP. I also want to be kind of in line more than I think about it. So my goal is to like raise over the top of this thing, fire down on somebody who's going to be hopefully on this low ground here, and then play around that a little bit more to the side here, and we'll adjust further formationing. Probably going to have to micro both of these, which is something I'll just have to deal with. Set the heading of it myself. Ships in formation do try and obey the heading and roll commands of the lead ship, so you have to be conscious of which ships are doing what. For example, if I told my jamming ship to get in formation with them, it would obey that heading command, meaning that the heading would be pointed off this way, the roll would be like 90 degrees to the side, and it would be just a little bit annoying to make this thing do its job. So instead, we're just going to keep you on your own little control group. I'm able to effectively manage that, I think. There's certain limitations to what I can and cannot do, and as long as you're conscious of your limitations and are working on improving them, then, hey, you're winning.
We're on the way, Commander.
So, you see ourselves getting up here now. You can see all these leftovers from when this was actually a bulk freighter. So they've kept the gas tanks on the side of it, used to store, I don't know, probably oxygen, maybe some other thing, hydrogen. I don't know if these are fusion reactors or what, but this one, on the other hand, does not have it, but it has some cargo containery pods here. So, also cranes. We like cranes.
Enemy
Standing by.
secured zone eclipse.
For anyone who's wondering, yes, I am crane certified. Forklift too.
Waiting orders.
They actually trusted me to use those things. I'm surprised as well. Alright, so D point should be ours any second now. We're just going to slam into this rock here, basically. Down here, we're going to just hide under this one. Because the idea is that whatever is going to cap the E point is going to be there, and then move off in a little bit and decide that, hey, nothing's going to back up us, right? And I'll be able to snake that with my little shuttle here. So,
Aye, aye. We're on the way.
see the B push going pretty well down there. We've got ourselves a nice little formation of shuttles here. One of them providing rockets and a lock-on, and the other ones... Ooh, actually, these are all lock-on, the rockets. One with a VLS for chaffing and stuff. Okay, so that's a nasty sucker punch for anyone who gets caught by those three things. Over here, we got just the kind of similar design to ours. They've got guns on the top, point defense turret. Only difference is that they went for another gun on the bottom instead of a rocket launcher. Then you see something like this here. This is a multi-mission tug with mine laying. Ooh, yes, more people are doing this. Recently, people have realized that mines are actually really, really good using the barnacle technique, which we kind of described earlier. Barnacle basically means you stick them like really close to a rock so that they embed onto the surface, much like a barnacle. And then when a ship comes around the corner, by the time they identify that there's missiles there, those missiles have already locked onto that ship and plastered it with like explosive goodness. So,
We're on the move.
let's see. Number 4 is alive and on the point. Number 5, you are good in position. See our first contact here going towards the A point. We're going to move over a little bit and try and threaten both this area and this area. You want to consider where is your safe zone and where is your like combat zone and where you want to be facing the enemy from. So if the enemy were to push over here now, I would see them mostly because they would see my ship first and then be like, okay, they have something over here that's scouting me out.
Zone dagger.
That said, before you get engaged, you also want to decide, okay, where am I going to run to? So this can be important because if you look at our bulk freighters, right, I am incentivized to run to the left here since my thrusters are facing backwards and towards the middle of the map. This means that I'm very good at pushing around this side and trying to collapse on this flank, but I will be heavily punished if I try and go back this way because, of course, your reversing thruster is not quite as strong as your main engines.
Securing zone boxer.
I just to be a little aware. We see our first customer catch of the day coming out here. Oh, hello there. Uh-oh. Radar off. Aha, yep, we got him. Excellent. So, you're just able to get in position there. I'm going to signal a attack marker over here-ish. There we are. That's our formation. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to set weapons to hold. We're going to order our 250 to fire on this. There we are. Now, we don't quite know what those are, but we see a lot of fire coming out of them.
Waiting orders.
They're getting close enough to be threatening. I'm betting that's a pair of voxels. So we're going to mark this one as a priority since I want to jump it first. And then we're actually going to be sneaky about our engagement. We were planning on going over the top, but now I want to kind of go off to the side. Reason being is that they have an offside scout there. There we are. So instead, we're going to go up and about here, moving our shuttle up top, trying to occupy this top space, so then I could potentially flank and shoot down. Already setting up, so we'll draw their attention to the left and then hit them from the right. Gonna go for a good old L-shaped ambush. See them unfortunately detecting us here, so we're going to counter that very quickly, firing off a jammer there. We only need one of those, so we will cancel the bottom jammer, instead try to fire it in sequence. This way we are able to keep the enemy unaware of what we are exactly. We're going to order this grape shot to be fired at it, as well as this casemate, so that way it'll angle itself correctly. There we are. Our roll, unfortunately, getting a little bit messed up. We're actually going to cease fire on that, just so then we can get ourselves better in position. Move ourselves like so, and like so. And that's more like it. Because we're planning to go around here, we want to be a bit more in vertical formation than in horizontal like we were. We'll just adjust according to this. There we are. These two ships should sort themselves out. We have ourselves set to hold fire and whatnot. Oop, number 4 is unfortunately taking a bunch of fire here. Yep, so that is a formation coming around here. Yep, time to go. Oh, wop. Need to get the heck out of here. That they are firing on us. I'm going to test their point defense a little bit here by firing some rockets. These won't hit, but I'm probably not going to live through this, and I want to see if they have anything that can hit us or not. Plus, this gets me a general sense of like what their PD network looks like. So, I'm going to signal another attack marker here. There we are. So we can see a bunch of their point defense coming out now. So we see that they have a mixture of flak in there as well as some other stuff. So we're going to lose our shuttle, but it gave us the intelligence we needed. That is the important part. Yep, so it's done and dusted. There we go. Got our thing down low. They have destroyers guarding, so we'll have to keep that in mind. So now we know exactly where the enemy is, and I am ready to get them. Ready, Mango? So you see Mango here moving with me. They are ready to engage the enemy. They have a bunch of guns that are ready for this stuff. And there is some of the incoming threat. We're just going to angle our shots here in a second, like so. A bunch of little missiles going out there. We are holding fire again because I'm expecting there to be a bunch of incoming stuff here, and we are going to counter with jamming like so. Blop, blop. These should all go away. So they've unfortunately scouted us out here. Oop. Be short, please. Thank you. Yeah, we are able to counter that decently well, but they have, of course, scouted us with their little offside thing there. I'm going to fire Grape on that. Ask for a lock. Hopefully these Acellos brought a bullseye, if they have one. They do. Yep. All right, there we are. And we're going to fire a Grape shot on that. And that is going to be us also firing, canceling that fire order. There we go. Fire, fire, fire. We're going to try and grape this thing, whatever it is. I'm betting it's going to be a Corvette or a Spyglass frigate. We'll judge by the shape. So, not sure what it is, but it is going to eat a lot of high explosives in a second. There we are.
Waiting orders.
Going to move ourselves back and forth like so. We see the enemy ships there as they have positioned themselves. We're going to clean up their support assets. They're going to get the point, and then they're going to suffer for it. So, that's the plan.
We're on the way.
Just watch as this thing gets peppered now. It took a whole bunch of hits earlier. Ooh. Will this thing reactor bloom? That could be a good thing. That reactor will bloom, which will mess up some of their stuff if they're too close. So EWAR is in position here. Gonna EWAR jam this thing, make sure that is the only thing there. No, they have track on us somehow. Or maybe that is their only asset. Either way, we're going to find out. Let's just quickly orient ourselves and use that on it. So our guns will change ever so slightly here, but should see this thing go down any second now. That's hilarious overkill for what this thing is, but you know what? We take those. I think it's dead, Chief. Like, I'm gonna be real. That thing ain't coming back. Ceasefire all guns. It's out of here. Like, yeah, poor little Spyglass. Reload all weapons. Set to hold fire. Yep. Clonk. It's not alive anymore. It doesn't exist. All right. Let's go over the rock and go. Yeah. Now is our chance. Missiles are on point. This is our cue to engage. We're going to go ahead and attack stuff here. Just signal the attacker marker just so I'm exactly sure where they are. There we are. Have you just about like there-ish. Is there beams in this formation, though? There is no beams. No beams? No beams. All right, we can take them.
Waiting orders.
Push the flank.
We're on the way.
Push the flank, push the tempo. Oh, yeah. Going to position ourselves to shoot this here. That is a battleship, which is going to be our priority target. Refleet. Where is it? This is the D point. The fleet's D. So, it's our job to be a little nuisance while we can. Gonna just order them to shut down. I didn't realize I was still jamming there. That's a little on my part. I'm going to assume that they don't have anything guarding their home point, so I'm going to send my shuttle off to them. Yeah. In a second, we're going to try and peel this thing here. We see quite a few of them are bow tanking, so I'm just going to wait for my lane partner here, Mango, to get in position. Don't want to overextend ourselves. Again, patience is the name of the game. They can cap the point, but there is more stuff here that we are occupying than we are taking up. So, need to hold our position for now. Bop, 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 bop. Set our heading and roll automatically, just in case we have a little bit of issues here. Not seeing the enemy quite yet, but there is still something out there and about.
At the ready, Commander.
Let's see. We can't see their scouting asset, which is a little concerning. So, this thing should be dead. Not sure what they're shooting it with still. Might just be a jammer or something. Yeah, that's fine.
Waiting orders.
Oh, it's probably their early warning radar. So yeah, if they want to push off the point, that's fine. If they're going to split out here, then we'll be able to counter-engage. They should definitely know what we are. The thing is that we are just not engaging quite yet. I'm waiting for Mango to come over the rock here and face the enemy. So, do that. Hopefully, Mango knows how to do their bow tank. I'm going to ask Mango, you know how to bow tank?
Waiting for your orders, Commander. Underway. Nearly depleted on missiles.
That's a Vauxhall. We don't need that.
We're on the way, Commander.
Gonna just peek around this corner here and hopefully get them in the flank. And yeah, we'll go for that. Or all the plasma we got here. And then we're also gonna start loading up HEHC in a second. And go from there, basically. Gonna come around this corner as best we can, and then see if we can't do it. I'd like to be oriented a little more horizontally, but we can make this work. So, I'm gonna go like this, then we're gonna retreat back.
We're on the move.
Spiker, Spiker.
There we are.
Waiting orders.
Try and lock onto
Locking
you.
them up.
There we are. Target's locked. Open fire.
Enemy is open fire.
Send everything. This will be rather short-lived if we don't quickly counter those.
Waiting
Uh-oh.
for your orders, Commander.
Gonna hurt.
The enemy has jammers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not realize they had missiles coming in as well, so that's gonna be a little inconvenient. Time to leave.
Low missile.
Instead, I should be able to tank a little bit of this. We are firing whatever we got here. Bunch of those coming in now, but our point defense is pretty good.
At the ready,
We're gonna
Commander.
fire our jammers
Copy
off
that.
as soon as
Moving.
possible. Hopefully now. Come on, baby.
Copy
Get
that.
jammed.
Moving.
Need to get into
Moving
position now. Yeah, we took a little bit of fire on the approach there, but we are able to dip down, back into cover, and hopefully fix some of our stuffs. Nothing essential got taken out there, so still pretty good for us.
Damage. Let's get it fixed.
And try and peek again in a second once the escort fleet here with us gets
Copy
into
that.
it.
Moving.
Uh-oh.
Waiting orders.
There we are. You're gonna rocket you.
Missile launched.
We are, and then fire a high explosive.
Engaging.
A bop, a bop.
We're on the way.
Try and get you to
We got a
roll
buzzer out there.
and hit them, please, and thank you.
Underway.
You'd be so kind.
Aye, command.
We have
All right, so
secured the Eclipse.
we see missiles coming in now. It is our turn to engage. Yep, Acellos are bow tanking. This is our chance to engage. Oh, we are getting massively return fired on. Okay, so we got a bunch of rockets in here, which is good.
We're ready whenever
Just
you
fire
are.
everything. I think, actually.
All personnel to
Oh,
escape
crap.
craft.
Never mind.
Ship.
Didn't do it in time. Damn. Still, we got a pretty good hit on E point. Unfortunately, it looks like they're still alive.
Taking shots
That's
at
a
us.
shame. Solomon has now pushed off. Our containers are going up. We are good to push on to point now.
Aye, Commander.
So.
We're moving.
We're just going to engage our jammers and then order battle short just to quickly jam them a lot. Trying to make this strike work pretty well here. That's a lot of point defense, though. So we need to just move up cautiously. Whole bunch of containers flying in now as the game starts to chug. This is Nebulous. This is Nebulous Prime, yeah.
We're on the way, Commander.
We're missing our pinpoint, but that is okay. We can manage some of this stuff. I'm going to try and jam these ones incoming as well to shut down our radars and stuff. Pop chaff wherever we can. There we are.
Ready whenever you
Pop
are.
chaff and pop chaff. These should hopefully counteract. Yep, you see them seduced off there. One will zoom wide. Yep, perfect. You can cease fire, turn off your
Aye,
B
aye,
short.
boss.
There we go. Let's take this point and go
Moving
for it. Yeah. Gonna try and order for the weapons to all cease fire, and then we're going to change our
We have
attack
internal
again.
damage. Let's get it fixed.
There we are.
We've got 'em in our sights.
The enemy secures
Trying to make ourselves sort of
Enemy
effective here.
electronic countermeasures.
They have a lot of EWAR, but we're able to counter that decently well, pushing up onto the point. Just gonna ask for my lane partner here to do some stuff. Ah, pop chaff. Problems.
at the ready.
Don't have enough time, unfortunately, to EWAR all that. Just need to EWAR as much as we can here. Try and jam, please, and thank you.
Receiving.
Ah, missiles. Unfortunately, a couple of our systems getting taken out. We're going to repair our guns here as soon as we can. That is going to be marked priority as well. So, fortunately, we do take a good deal of damage crossing over here, but we are able to get into cover.
Standing by.
Thankfully, my lane partner is listening to me, and we are able to kind of move up here. I can move my jammer ship onto the point here and still give them a lot of trouble.
Make it quick.
Oop. As we see here, I need to repair a bunch more stuff because we got a whole bunch of hits there, actually. Luckily, though, the bulk freighters have a lot of damage
Ready
control.
whenever you are.
We'll just need
We're on
to
the move.
reassign our stuff. There we go. A little bit more micromanagement than I would like to do on a fleet, but hey, whatever.
Working on it.
We're going to make it happen.
Receiving.
So you are going to get onto the point, and then that will force them to return to us. They did push off to try and secure the A point there, but because their death ball has moved away, we are able to get a couple good shots. Even though we're not dealing like that much damage right now, we're still being a threat. We can't engage this death ball head on, but we are still winning in the cap game. So our container player is doing a good job trying to get a bunch of little extra sneaky shots in here. You see their reference point kind of shooting down. Yeah, credit to them. Good containering. Who's this? White Wolf Dog. I don't believe I've met them before, but hey, I like it.
We're on the way, Commander.
Our little asset here that could, getting onto the D point, securing our that for our team. Turn off battle short, make sure that our stuff is working. Yep. So,
Waiting for your orders. Component destroyed.
Uh-oh.
What is it, Command?
what is hitting us? I heard
What is it,
component
man?
destroyed somewhere. Oh, that might have been the bug where sometimes when something is fixed, they call it component destroyed.
Sector traffic.
Not sure why that
Component
happens, but
destroyed. Waiting orders.
yeah, that's got to be the.
Hull breach. Component destroyed.
That's really annoying.
Hull breach. Component
Yeah, see,
destroyed.
they're saying like components are destroyed when we fix them. Huh.
Moving.
I don't know why it does that, but oh well. Anyways, let's try and get our stinking guns onto target then. Yeah. They are outside of our effective range, but we have still capped the point, so we just need to do our thing here. I'm going to ask for a move thing up here. Yeah. We're pushing them back, which is important to do, because we want to keep them away from our stuff here. We're forcing them to go somewhere else into like this middle dead space where there's a lot less cover than in the rocks over here. And that's doing pretty well for us. We see our containers getting, I think, a couple hits in there. I'm not sure exactly how effective the container hits are, but still, battleship here looks like it's taking a couple toastings here and there. I think I got some plasma into it, and my allies did too. So, yep. We got some allied fleets over here, kind of holding this lane down. Looks like the Vauxhalls here from the lesbian fleet, LESB. Vauxhall's canonically the most trans and gay hull. That is not said as a bad thing or anything. In fact, it's just one of those like funny little quirks of the hull where everyone's like literally everyone unanimously agreed that the Vauxhall hull wears cute mini skirts and thigh highs, and they were just like, yeah, Slay Queen. That's kind of the way it went. Anyways, we're gonna fire our jammers on it because we want to be a little ship. So let's do that.
On the way, Commander.
Yum. All right. Now I want to engage in combat, but it seems my ships want to engage in bumper rocks, so we're just going to order them to reposition a little bit here. I intend to come over this rock as a big old flank overload since they can see us somehow, and I don't know with what. That offside asset is super toast. Oh wow, what hit this thing? Damn. Okay, so yeah, Mango's getting a little toasted here. We need to make this happen quick, so we're gonna do just that. Let's see. We're gonna fire our HE shot. We're gonna fire our plasma, and then we're gonna load high explosive capped. There we go. Actually, we can hold off on firing those T-30s.
Spiker on the scope.
We have the right ammo from. Actually, otherwise they're going to switch ammo loads. So we'll just go with this. So you're going to try and catch up and do the same thing. High explosives and plasma. Oh, number 3 is taking some hits here and there. Uh-oh. Owie. You can get jammed. Thank you. Need to move you out from where that is being a problem. We'll fire the bottom jammer on you. Bottom jammer is actually royally toasted. That's an issue. Okay, we're just going to cease fire on these things instead. Shut down the radar, pop chaff, and hope for the best. There we go. All right, let's get those things fixed.
Waiting orders.
So, unfortunately, I don't know how they can see us, but, if they can see us, we can see them. Let's just go ahead and fire all of our stuff on them while we can. You are approved for fire order, so are you. Yep. Get some locks in here and there. I probably should have fixed the pinpoint. That would have been a good idea. Oops. Well, nothing else needed to be fixed here, so we're going to fire on you and fire on you, and then get some HEHC, and then you're going to go and do the same thing as well. There we are. Oh, not the dummy missile. No. Ah. Now fire on that one. Plasma, please, and thank you, and then HEHC. Go. So we got missiles inbound on us here. Oh, crap. Radar's off. Keybinds. No! Crap. Okay, we can make this work. Chaff. Radar's off. Radar's off. Off radars, please. Thank you. Yep. So do some point defense. Doing a bunch of various little thingies here to try and counter the enemy, but struggling with it. Ow. They had missiles lined up and waiting for me. Clever. Minor skill issue, but we are making it work. Kind of, maybe, sort of. Shoot it! Ah! Crap. Okay, I did not realize they had that many missiles left. I thought they had sent most of their stuff already. Yeah, just gonna say, that was my own fault. I thought that they were a lot more flesh, like there was a lot more stuff that was further away than that. I didn't realize they had that many missiles ready and waiting for me. So this ship is kind of toasted right now. I can technically restore a bunch. Not anymore. No, they've unfortunately killed it. Damn. All right. Well, the good news is we only have to manage one ship.
Move! Component offline.
Yeah, we need to clear the bulk freighter now. Just signal this as a warning. Just get the hell away from that thing.
Copy that. Moving.
Yeah, that is a literal bomb ticking down. We need to not be here, please. Thank you. Go. Okay, we can restore a bunch of our guns. I haven't used these things very much, in case you can't tell. Not exactly as not exactly as practiced as some of my other fleets. I think that we're going to get torched by this thing no matter what we do. Yeah, I wasn't able to scram anything. It's just a fuel line fire, though. That might... Actually, we might be good. Yeah, I think we're good, actually. Right? We'll see in a sec. Okay, we are actually good. Phew. All right. Minor panic. I thought that was a...
On the way, Commander.
Yeah, I thought that was a reactor bloom, which would have been very bad news for us. That said, we do have a 4 cap here, and we're working very closely towards a win. So even though we've not done a whole lot of damage, we still have controlled the enemy fleet's positions pretty well by being a persistent threat up here. Like, they know that I'm bulk freighters, supported by a pair of Acellos, so that is a threat they have to deal with. We're going to fire our jammers up here, get jammed. I'm assuming that these things are just approaching now. I think those staged, yeah.
How can we help today,
Gonna hold ready to shut down the jammers. Nope, they're good. Haha. So, missiles counterplayed excellently.
Full power.
I feel really good when I'm able to counterplay missiles and stuff like that. That said, we are going to go ahead and try for that Solomon again. See if we can't get some good shots into it now. That's peak 7560. So, they should know that we are up here, but at the same time, they're engaged across multiple fronts. They're trying to defend their home front there. Mango should be able to peek here in a second, so I'm just going to wait for them to do that. Yep. This actually is a handy piece of cover that we can use.
Go ahead,
I'm going to peek my EWAR first.
Moving.
Just going to give him a little guidance, and we'll get him. We have our plan. We have our strats. We should be able to engage here. And this should, with any luck, work. See me trying to move according to the positioning of my bow. So that way I'm able to kind of like move up and then move down.
Combat move.
Yeah. Pew pew. See me now firing a bunch of stuff here. I don't know how plasmid this thing is. I'm probably not doing damage here, but at the same time, we're going to actually switch over to AP, yeah. There's plasma doing work now, but still we're a little bit too toasted here. Gonna set this now. We are forcing them back again. Remember, they're on 4 caps right now. We are winning this firmly. Their battleship, like that death ball there, we scared them. We might not have won that fight, but yeah. Yeah.
Aye, command.
Just a little longer.
Got it. We'll move there.
I don't know what that is, but I want that to die, so we're going to fire grape shots on it, as well as a high explosive round or 2. Lock on target. Whatever you are, you die today. And also jam all of these things down here, because we want to be funny about it. There's a chance that we are messing up some of their targeting data by jamming them from the offside here, and also just being an annoyance. Honestly, annoying your enemy and taxing their patience is a really good strategy, because if you can kind of like make your opponents tilt, they will lose. I'm not saying you should like deliberately tilt your opponents, but just finding little ways to inconvenience them and otherwise like deplete their resources, because patience is a resource, is a very good thing to do. Okay, what are you?
We're out of
there?
missiles.
Uh-oh. Get more contacts over there. Gonna enable our jamming. Those should get shot down. Yep, handily. There we are.
Aye, aye.
That. All right. Where is that one? Yeah, we can go for that, I think.
Aye, aye. We're on the way.
Yeah, let's dive. We can take them. Yeah, let's get them.
Go ahead, Command. Aye, aye, Commander.
In this case, we are cleaning up one of their little assets here, firing our grape shot and whatnot into it. That might actually be tougher than grape is capable of, so we're going to just send everything on it. You know what? If you're going to shoot, shoot everything.
Standing by.
We have to reload our guns, but plasma should be warmed up in a second there, belching out of the sides. Plasma does some damage, but it's primarily used to strip armor. So, gonna move downwards like so. Again, we're gonna fire our bottom jammers here and our top jammers up here, just to mess with the enemy's tracking. We see that there is a Oxford here that we could possibly get a flank shot into.
We're ready whenever you are.
We're gonna focus fire on that one once we get our orientation set right. There we are. Got our heading and stuff. This thing should be pretty toasted in a second. I don't know what it is, but it has a lot of missiles, I'm pretty sure. Can't exactly hear if I'm... Oop, that thing is dead. Okay, cool. So we're going to make sure that is killed. And we're going to change our heading and stuff. So because we have finished with that, should be able to roll and get on target here. Going to set casemate onto you. Going to set plasma onto you. And then we'll just load some AP rounds, I think. There we are. I could reload a bit more, but I think that I'm fine for right now.
Waiting for your orders,
Anyways, you are actually a sprinter in gun range, so you're going to get hit by grape shot in a second. I want to clean up the enemy assets here because I'm the best qualified to do so. There we are. Going to move ourselves around a little bit here. Kind of an awkward angle that we're doing right now, but hey, what are you going to do? Enemy gate is down after all, and that'll be that. Stripping away at this thing with plasma is our main goal. So, gonna try and get some shots in. Pew pew. We probably lock that in a second. We have to be careful because there is the battleship looking around the corner, but we should be able to manage that.
On the way, Commander.
See them now locking onto us, and we're getting some plasma hits into this thing. Tell you what, let's just fire some grape shots into this thing because now we've stripped a little bit. We might actually get a pen. I don't know if we will, but it could be worth it. Oh, this thing is great. All right, that's our target. Fire on you. Oh, we don't see him anymore. Never mind. All right, continue firing plasma. Plasma on reload. Lock target. There we are. Okay, grape shot and then casemate fire. It's a little bit awkward making these things work some days. That battleship is going to come around that corner, and we really don't want to see that. So that could be incredibly poor for us. So instead, we're just going to use our thrusters to run like this. Heading to bed. Thank you for the stream. Yep, no problem, Blue. Our fellow Blue, I should say. Always a pleasure. We'll fire our jammers here to try and counteract some of that. Let's see if these will stage or not. Come on, please, please, please. Yep. All right, we're just going to shut down our radars here as well. Popping a bunch of chaff to set you off. There we are. Turning that thing off at the last second just barely makes it work. All right, sweet. So now I'm able to kind of be a nasty surprise flanker and go around like so. We'll be able to get these ships in a second. So we'll load our shots here, load our plasma. And you know what? Because we're probably going to need the plasma for a long time, we're going to actually just go like so. I do want to control their light assets, so... do I bother with grape shotting these? I do also want to kill the... Yeah, you know what? We are the only thing that can really kill light assets, so we're going to have to just fire all of our guns on them. I'm actually going to shoot plasma at these instead, but still, you get what I mean. Using our little 250 turret to aim is being pretty effective here.
Copy that.
We know the battleship is below us, so we're just going to play around that, turning on our radar and stuff. There we are, lock on target, and then hold there. Try and pew-pew with whatever we got. All right, you, that's the target. Grape shotted. All right, you are going to get grape shotted in a second. See them trying to counter jam me here. I'm going to jam them in turn. Oop. Oh, crap. We actually took a good hit there. But... So you see the enemy firing some beams. This game should be over in a second. We are just holding them in position long enough that we can make this work. Come on, grape shots. Hit target. Trying to hit this thing with his jammers towards us. A couple good shots should knock out some of the systems there. We are firing a lot of fire, so... you know what? Just go for full volume of fire. Send every weapon at it. Fire, 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 fire. All the restores we can into the guns. Yeah, we'll cap out in a second, and I think that'll be that. Yeah. Yeah, this thing thoroughly peppered all the atmosphere leaks in the world. Let's go. So, that's a way to win by also sort of not winning. We just need to hold the C cap, and we should get that. I don't believe that they can get anywhere close. Yeah, we're gonna give them the GG. See how they did flip a bunch of the caps? Our goal was just to hold out until we hit 1,000. So, that's what we did. Just fire on those, and then watch as 2 more ticks should be it, and that'll be that. Yeah. I think that'll probably be where we wrap up the stream for the night. I'd hit this thing. I'm still not the best with bulk freighters like this. I need to practice more with them. I've done a bunch of practice with kind of more conventional bulk freighters, just like the straight broadside. Doing the topside thing requires setting like 3 different fire orders, which is something I need to get faster at, but hey, steady improvements. Me.
We got a component offline.
GG, well played all. Yeah, that was good. Just wrapping up stream now. Thanks all for playing. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, I think that's where we're going to probably wrap up stream for tonight, because this has been sort of impromptu, and also my brain is kind of melting out my ears. So, yeah. Oh, thank you for the follow. I have to scroll up and see it. Iron Foxtrot, thank you. Hello, Mango. Yeah, you did well. You listened to instructions. You took advantage of like opportunities with me. We got to just go against honestly more than our weight. Like, that was like 9,000 points worth of fleet there, and we were patient and played it really well. Yeah, good job. Love having you as a lane partner. I'd salute you, but my arms don't really move with this, so instead I'll just wiggle my ears cutely. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that worked, even though, like, we didn't do the most... Wow. Damn, I take it back. Okay, Grape Shot does a lot of damage when you hit sometimes. Cool. Haha. Yeah, we controlled that lane really well there. Where was your ships and stuff? We had a container liner get some hits in. There, yeah. Like, again, we didn't do, like, the most damage, but we intimidated the hell out of them, because that was 9,000 points or so worth of A&S force that just was like, okay, we got the point. We don't want to stay here. There's bulk freighters and other nastiness abound. We managed to push them back. Good job. Anyways, I think that's where I'm going to wrap up stream for the night, so I'll give everyone the whole closing spiel, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, you can follow my Twitch if you want notifications when I go live. I've also got a link to my Twitter in my About section. I post notifications when I go live there, along with some funny images and stuff that I like. I also interact with people there, do some silliness. Probably more Nebulous to come the next week. I have to finalize my schedule, which I'm going to do tomorrow. And yeah, I've been NekoboyBlue. Thanks for coming out to my stream. I'm going to see if there's anyone who I follow who's streaming right now. I don't think there is because it's kind of weird hours, but yeah. Just take a quick look. Doesn't really look like it. So I guess we're just going to end off with just me telling thank you everyone for playing. Have a good night.